Honestly, what I'm doing, all jokes aside, what I'm doing is the puppy at home, I have little pieces of little treats, and I throw the treats down, and she moves the treats with her nose over, and the treats land, like I have the squares. Wherever the hell she puts the treat, I'm picking. It's my strategy this year. Now, every now and then, she just eats it right away without moving it. So I think she's caught on that that's a good strategy, so I throw another treat.
Okay.
And then she'll move it over, and I get my pick. Either way,
nice.
That's how we do it.
Nice. I like that, Jamie. Yeah. It's working, so keep it up.
Yeah.
Jamie paced us again. 11 correct picks for him. Kerry Davis with 9. So he finished with, he's not finished because there's 2 games tonight. But Kerry Davis is currently in second. Brad and I both had 8 correct picks. And Marsh is bringing up the rear right now with 7. But he has an opportunity tonight, depending on how these 2 games go, to either match Brad or I, depending on, again, which way we're leaning in these 2 games. For them, Riz, another good week for him. 10 points for him. Moon with 9. Rafe with 9. King Scott with 7. And Learn with 6. So Learn and King Scott kind of had a rough one.
We all get those weeks.
We certainly do. Ours will come.
Well, for sure.
We're up by 2 points this week heading into the 2 games. But they're mad scientists down the hallway. I'm sure they're planning something. We'll see how these 2 games unfold tonight. We got Eagles, Buccaneers, and by the way, we're carrying that game for you. So 6 o'clock pregame right after our show. Kickoff at 6:15. We'll carry the Bucs and Eagles. Then it's Rams and Bengals. And I think the Rams-Bengals one, I think both games could be interesting. But Rams and Bengals, I think, is going to be the one that maybe factors in for tonight. So hopefully we hang on. Got the 2-point lead.
What do you think of these double Monday nighters?
I like it.
I don't, Anthony.
Marsh doesn't either.
I don't like them.
I don't. I like to focus on one game. So being a father of 4 children, and now with my girlfriend living in the house, she has 2 children. So at any given Monday, it's 6 kids in the house. I'm not able to watch 2 games. So NFL, you need to take me into consideration and go back to 1 Monday night football game.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's about me, Anthony.
That makes sense.
And I'm speaking for all the other dads out there who can't watch 2 games because of children.
Yeah.
I don't know how you watch 2 games, Anthony. You must do something special.
Usually I have the phone on one and maybe the laptop on the other.
Do you have them Velcroed to the children?
I've been known to carry the phone around while I'm making lunches for the next day or changing diapers or fulfilling one of the 4,000 needs.
Have you thought about one of those things that goes over the new thing,
like
the headgear, where you could play the movie in?
That'd be pretty cool.
Although you'd probably have a tough time seeing where you're going.
Yeah, I'd probably trip over.
Yeah, I'm willing to risk it.
Fair enough.
Okay.
All right. What's your biggest takeaway yesterday from all the games?
That no one is safe. I mean, you're not safe. You look at the Ravens. How the hell did the Ravens lose that game? Let alone, how about the Cowboys? Cowboys going to cowboy, apparently.
That one was shocking.
Like
they have had some red zone issues, but when you're beating teams as badly as you are in the first 2 weeks, you don't expect it. Like the red zone, it could get. You're struggling a little bit in the red zone. We need to clean that up. Like, all right, you won 40-0, or you blasted the Jets last week in efficient fashion. But yesterday they showed up, and Dak threw the 1 pick basically clinched the game. He threw it into the end zone, got picked off. But the Cardinals also rushed for 222 yards. That's the game. They did whatever they wanted to in that one. So Dallas's defense, I know they lost Trayvon Diggs, but Diggs isn't going to impact the run defense as much as any other player in the front 7. 222, 7.4 yards per carry, Jamie. So every time they handed off the ball, on average, they picked up 7.4 yards. They dominated Dallas yesterday. And you're right, Baltimore stubbing their toe in Indianapolis.
I'm circling back to what I've said for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That does not, to me, look like a match made in heaven right now between the OC and Lamar. Lamar only putting up 202 yards yesterday, no touchdowns. Like, I don't know. It has not looked great.
It hasn't popped. He took 4 sacks yesterday. That certainly hurt. You're right in terms of like the explosive plays and such. He had 14 carries for 101 yards. Their drives stalled. So I think where their issues are right now is they're one of those teams that's good between the 20s. And then they get in the red zone, they kind of get bogged down. And turnovers have been an issue. Them going for it on, they've missed some 4th down conversions. But Indianapolis, credit them, they just hung around. They kicked a bunch of field goals thanks to Matt Gay, and they wound up pulling off the upset. But that's a game. No Anthony Richardson in that one. That's a game you got to win. But those two big upsets, and then I thought last night's game too came into focus with Josh McDaniels.
Oh my gosh!
What is he doing?
What an idiot!
Everybody's focused on, of course, the fact that he did not go for it on 4th and 4 from the 8-yard line.
Anthony?
Well, okay, I understand why people are focused on that.
That's a really bad move.
If you go for it and you make it and you score a touchdown, you have an opportunity to get the 2-point conversion and you tie. I had a bigger issue, though, with not kicking the field goal with 13 minutes left. You need 2 touchdowns regardless. So you kind of saw the thought process for him, like, we'll kick the field goal, eliminate the need to go for 2. You could have done that with 13 minutes left. You were going to need 2 stops no matter what. You were going to need 2 touchdowns no matter what. So it's almost like he thought backwards, realized, we could kick the field goal. But to think that your defense was going to get a stop when it has been atrocious on 3rd downs the first 3 weeks, that was poor thinking.
I think my biggest takeaway from this week, Jamie mentioned, some of the teams that shocked us. I think for me, there are some head coaches that used to be coordinators that they're just coordinators. They do not know how to manage a game, the clock. Some guys are calling plays when they probably shouldn't. I think there's a few head coaches in the league that probably should not be head coaches, and they should just be coordinators because that's what they're good at. Head coaching, on the other hand, we're seeing it in real time that these guys aren't up to snuff. Josh McDaniels being one of them, and he has a track record of being a bad head coach. I wonder how this goes the rest of the year for Vegas, not Oakland.
Well, there you go. Brandon Staley too. You talk about coaches that should probably be coordinators.
Oh, he should be fired.
He got bailed out.
He did get bailed out.
He got bailed out. Goes for it on 4th down again. I know the analytic community is like, well, if they make it and this, that, and the other thing. Okay. Justin Herbert threw for 405 yards in that game. He was 40 of 47. 40 of 47. He put the ball in the air 47 times. He only had 7 incompletions. And you ran the ball up the middle of Joshua Kelly?
Who has done nothing in the past 2 weeks. And we saw last week what DeAndre Swift did to this Minnesota Vikings defense.
Right.
And he didn't really do anything all day.
He had 11 carries for 12 yards.
That's terrible.
If you're Minnesota, you're begging the Chargers to run the football in that spot. Herbert was unstoppable. You want to go for it, fine. Put the ball in your best player's hands then. He got bailed out. This is bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. They lose Mike Williams for the season.
Shocker there.
Good luck. Yeah, Williams, unfortunately. Nice catch. Nice catch on that. The one long one for when they were backed up.
Yeah.
He caught the touchdown, too. Caught one of the touchdowns. But, yeah, no surprise there to Marsh's point about Mike Williams being banged up. All right, more football to come, but we're going to switch it up. Talking a little Blues Q's here. So if you got a question, send it in to the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. Blues questions next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals lose to the San Diego Padres yesterday by a final score of 12-2. They are off today, but they will take on Milwaukee tomorrow. City defeated Minnesota by a final of 2-1, and they'll be up against Sporting KC on Saturday. And tonight we'll have Monday Night Football for you. It's the Eagles and the Bucks. Pregame starts at 6. We have Blues Cues coming up next. So if you have any questions about your St. Louis Blues, send them our way to the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Send them our way. Blues Cues coming your way next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane's Blues Cues.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. It is time for some Blues Cues. If you got a Blues-related question, send it in now, 314-399-9646. Jamie?
Yeah, so send them in. Marshy's going to be sifting through them. But just a quick update for Blues fans is there were 2 games on Saturday. Blues winning the one here at home at the Enterprise Center and then losing the other one in Wichita to the Arizona Coyotes. Coyotes, by the way, had 3 teams playing. They have 1 team in Australia that played the Global Series, which was kind of all their big guys.
Yeah.
They had their second team, I believe, I don't know which one was the second team or the third team, but a lot of different players in the lineup for both teams. And the Blues icing quite a few regulars here in St. Louis. Like you had the Booch, Kyrou, Thomas line out there. Sonny was out there. Meanwhile, a lot of guys who were looking to either have bigger responsibility or make the team were in Wichita. But that's kind of the update of it right now. Malcolm Subban was incredible in Wichita. I think he had 24 shots on goal in the first period.
Nice.
He played fantastic. There's a gritty bunch. He had 3 fights and 1 big, huge scrum. Nathan Walker beat the wheels off a guy again. It was great. It's almost like the guy didn't read the scouting report before he dropped his mitts. Sammy Blais got into it. So some exciting stuff out there so far, but that's kind of the update of where we're at right now.
All right, time for some Blues Cues.
All right, from the 618, if all the Blues defensemen have a back-of-the-card season this year, are the Blues a serious playoff contender?
Sorry, what was that? I was reading a text.
So if all
being honest.
if all the Blues defensemen have a back-of-the-hockey card season this year, are the Blues a serious playoff contender?
Yeah, absolutely. They're in the playoffs, guaranteed. If those defensemen play like they have historically in their careers, the Blues are in the playoffs. Because you got a really solid goaltending tandem. I think you've got 4 lines that are really deep, very talented up front. The biggest wild card is what can the defensive core do? Well, if the defensive core plays the way they can, then this team, for me, nothing's automatic in life. I get it. But this team will have a real serious shot at playoffs and a chance to make some noise, too. If that D-core plays the way they can and they get some more offensive production from other guys and even more offensive output from Thomas and Kyrou, it's not a team that's going to be, people aren't going to be thrilled to play them.
I'm with you. I mean, if the defense, to the nature of the question, and I like how it's phrased, if they merely just play to the back of their hockey cards, yeah, they're going to be a playoff team. They've got scoring balance. They've got the goaltending. If they fix a lot of the mistakes, the correctable mistakes that they had a year ago, they're going to be a playoff team. I'm with you.
Sticking with the defense from the 636, if Scott Perunovich can earn a spot in the starting 6, does that leave Scandella as the 7th guy and Tucker as the odd man out playing in the AHL?
Yeah, this is the big question for the Blues right now, is who is going to round out the top 6, because your top 4 are solidified. Craig Berube and Doug Armstrong can say what they want, but those guys have to be solidified. Torrey Krug right now coming back from a foot injury, although he's been on the ice a couple of times since. Looks like he's healing very well. Army's talked about him possibly being back for the end of preseason games. So if that's the case, then obviously the thought of Perunovic taking reps from Krug is going to go away pretty quickly. I don't know. Marco Scandella had a rough one on Saturday night in Wichita. Tyler Tucker had a bit of a rough one too, but let's be honest, I was talking to Matt Rockhill before the show, and they had one small mini game / scrimmage before they went into preseason games. So really no reps under their belt per se, let alone reps as a team or systems and things like that. So it's tough to get an official report on those guys, like where they're at right now. On paper, it's a battle, man. It is a friggin' battle. For 5, 6, 7, those spots, it's going to be a real battle. And injuries come into it. Robert Bortuzzo left the game the other night. We don't know how serious that is. To be determined. We'll find out maybe tomorrow at Blues practice. But, Scott Perunovic has to outplay people. He has to prove that he can play every day in every situation. I think that's what Craig Berube said, too.
From the 314, what will Blues fans be satisfied with when the season is over? Will it be making it to the playoffs, making it past the first round? After last year's dumpster fire, I think making it to the playoffs would make me happy personally.
Anthony, what would make you happy as a Blues fan?
Making the playoffs. Honestly, I think that's the proper expectation after not making it a year ago and having quite a bit of turnover since the deadline last year. Losing Ryan O'Reilly, and I shouldn't say losing, you parted with Ryan O'Reilly, you parted with Vladimir Tarasenko, you parted with Ivan Barbashev. I love the moves that Doug Armstrong made since the deadline, but the fact remains that you've got a lot of things to clean up in the back end, and you did make a series of moves that replaced some of your core. So I think that if they rebounded and got into the playoffs, that is my expectation.
Yeah,
and I'd be happy with it.
Likewise. I think getting into the playoffs, it would be a huge victory for this team. Now, I know the players and the management, everybody wants more. Everybody always wants a Stanley Cup championship. But you can't win if you don't get in the dance, first of all. And last year, they weren't close to getting into the dance.
Yeah.
So getting into the playoffs this year affords them the opportunity to play playoff hockey, to play a best-of-7 series, to maybe wear out a team, get a hot goaltender in Jordan Binnington. And, one series turns into 2, turns into 3. Who knows? But for me, a successful season for this year's Blues team is making the playoffs.
From the 314, what did you think of Jordan Kyrou's slap shot from the point, and could that translate to the power play this season?
I don't know. I loved it, first of all. I mean, yes, it was awesome. I'll take that every day. I don't know if that's ultimately his spot. I would love to see Jordan Kyrou move up and down. Like, if you watch Alex Ovechkin, and I know that's a hell of a comparison, and I'm not trying to say Kyrou could be Ovechkin. Ovechkin has the potential of being the greatest goal scorer ever in the NHL. But let's take away the fact that he shoots the puck so well. Watch the way he moves up and down in the offensive zone. When the puck's up high, he'll move up high to the blue line, available for a one-timer or an opportunity there. When the puck goes down low, he moves down low, too, to be a one-timer opportunity. With Kyrou's speed and the way he moves so well and passes and shoots the puck, I'd love to see him do that, kind of floating up and down that one-timer side.
Yep.
And then when the opportunity comes where he gets a good pass, he gets a chance to put, a solid shot on net, that he takes that shot. What I don't want to see is passes going through, and instead of just shooting it instinctively, we handle the puck. 1, 2, 3, 4 stick counts, then try to make a pass. Today's NHL, that gives the penalty kill every opportunity to readjust, get sticks in the lane, get bodies back in place. Everything has to happen very quickly. It has to be executed, flat passes, hard passes, passes to the tape. Now you get an opportunity to score a goal. But Kyrou, I could definitely see expanding his role on that side of the ice. I'd love to see it.
And from the 314, if the Blues are struggling into December, do you believe Army will trade quickly or have patience and see how it goes?
I don't know what he can do. He doesn't have a whole bunch of high-end unrestricted free agents this year. So I guess he could ask a bunch of people to waive their no-trade clauses, and maybe if the ship is going down, some of these guys are like, you know what? I'll jump off. If you trade me to a contender, I'll go. But then therein lies the problem that he had before, is trying to trade big money to a contender that probably is already up against the cap.
Sure.
And if they're a contender, they probably need everybody that's on their team, at least they're high-priced guys.
Right.
So the dollar in, dollar out trade isn't necessarily there unless Army's willing to eat salary in return, which isn't impossible. But I don't anticipate that being the case this year. I really don't. I don't think Army's going to have to worry about those tough decisions. At least I hope he doesn't.
That's Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We do have Blues and Blue Jackets tomorrow night. Pregame starting at 6 o'clock right here on 101 ESPN. Mizzou got it done in the Dome on Saturday night, and Mizzou is now ranked 23rd in the AP Top 25. 22nd in the coaches poll. Wow. Are they a legit contender in the SEC? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, our guy Ron, the Wizard of Comfort over there at Swiss Air Heating and Cooling. He's always got incredible promotions available, and not just for brand new HVAC systems, but for the upkeep of your system. How about the $69 Magic Tune? It's a 29-point cooling or heating system check. Right now, $35 off any service call, which is great because we know the cold winters are coming. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, if your system is just not working the way it should and you need a whole new HVAC, I know that the experience and the product's fantastic.
Yeah, we had our entire HVAC unit replaced. We did our due diligence when it came to having a couple of different people come out and different bids. Nobody touched Swiss Air. Nobody touched Ron, the Wizard of Comfort. And right now, we took advantage of the deal that was going on, back in March. But right now, if you upgrade your home comfort system, you're going to get instant rebates and tax credits totaling $5,000 from Swiss Air, plus 60 months, 0% financing, and a 12-year parts and labor warranty. Again, upgrade your home comfort system right now by calling Ron, the Wizard of Comfort, and Swiss Air. Get instant rebates and tax credits totaling $5,000, plus 60 months, 0% financing, and a 12-year parts and labor warranty. You're not going to beat the deal from Swiss Air. Stop putting it off. Winter's coming. You don't want to be the home that is freezing inside and you're waiting on, Swiss Air or somebody else to come out. Do it now. Take advantage of the deal.
Yeah, and make sure you call our guy Ron, the Wizard of Comfort. Tell him that Anthony and Jamie sent you in. And all you have to do is call him at 636-500-COOL. That's 636-500-COOL. Or you can visit them at SwissAirSTL.com.
Mizzou gets it done in the Dome against Memphis, 34-27. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter. And as we noted before the break, Mizzou is now ranked 22nd in the AP Coaches Poll, and then they are 23rd in the AP Top 25 poll. Are they legit contenders in the SEC? Don't know. We'll find out more when they take on LSU on October 7th, which is next Saturday. So not this upcoming Saturday. They're at Vanderbilt. If they take care of business, which they should, don't play with your food. Just get it done at Vanderbilt.
What?
Don't mess around.
Play with your food?
Yeah.
What?
Don't play with your food. Just
what does that do with football?
eat the meal and get back home.
What are the Vandies?
The Commodores.
Okay. Well, they're not food.
They're terrible. That's what they
Tigers
are.
eat anything, though.
That's very true. We don't know until they face LSU next week. At home against your toughest opponent, not named Kansas State. But credit Mizzou. They have passed every test thus far. They came out of the gate slow. We criticized the offense, specifically the passing game. Not necessarily Brady Cook, but the coaching staff for not mixing in some of that explosiveness. They faced Kansas State. They put the ball in the air vertically, had a good balance, played decent defensively, and got it done against Kansas State. Same deal with Memphis. Jamie, Mizzou averaged 13.6 yards per pass. That's outstanding. If you can do that, you're going to mix in enough explosive plays to get it done. Can they run the ball when they're leading? Can they run the ball when it matters? We'll find out. The defense, I think, is good, athletic, gets off the field at appropriate times. But we have no idea if they can hang in the SEC until they face some of the big dogs. They haven't even had a conference game yet.
No, they haven't, but it's also, so if it's not fair to say how great they are, then it's also not fair to say they can't.
I agree. I agree.
And, Anthony, you really haven't believed all year long, and Marshy and I have been way different. We've believed every single game.
Yeah, nice job, guys.
I mean, I even went to a game this year because I believe so much in this team that I decided to watch them play live.
You did, and you sent us text messages saying, it doesn't look good, but I think they're going to be fine.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I bought a Brady Cook jersey.
I stayed in my seat the entire game.
I don't think you did. I think you brought a Brady Quinn jersey on accident.
Oh. Well, either way, both great quarterbacks.
Because you bought a James Cook jersey. You're a Bills fan.
No, but in all seriousness, Mizzou, they've exceeded my expectations already. I know it's not saying much because they've only played Kansas State, which was the big game, but they have gotten better each and every game.
Yeah.
And the first two games weren't pretty. Was that by design? Were they purposely not opening up the playbook? I don't know if Eli Drinkwitz had that much strategy involved. If he did, that takes a tremendous amount of discipline too, because a couple of those games were pretty tight at certain times.
I don't think it was by design.
I don't know.
I think it took a couple of weeks. And this is natural. I think it took a couple of weeks.
Is it though? Because now Brady Cook is airmailing it everywhere. Like, he woke up one morning and Eli Drink said, yeah, you know what, son? I believe your arm has been touched by God. We're going to throw that ball.
Listen here,
really?
Bud. Listen here, Bud Kilmer. I think that Eli Drinkowitz said to Kirby Moore, we have got to throw more vertically. I don't think...
You think he said that to him after week 2? Hey, by the way, for our next game, I want you to totally change everything.
Not change everything, just open it up a little bit more.
I'm not going to...
Why play around with South Dakota? Why play around with Middle Tennessee State? Why be in that game?
I don't know.
In those games.
I don't know, Anthony.
When you're trying to get your QB up to speed.
I don't have the answers to that, okay? Nobody does except for those guys on the inside.
Sure.
But I will say that the way their offense has looked in the last 2 games certainly has given me hope for this team. Now, how do they fare against an LSU team in 2 weeks? I don't know. We'll see.
Test.
It's a huge test because, what are they ranked, 22nd now, Mizzou? Yeah. So the Colorado Buffaloes were 19th, and they played 10, Oregon. Mm-hmm. We saw what happened.
Yeah, Colorado's no longer ranked.
Correct.
They're
so
out.
We have Mizzou at 22 and LSU at 13. Mm-hmm. Interesting scenario. Very similar. let's see what happens. If Mizzou hangs with them, or even challenge or beats them, I don't think they win that game. I think that's a really tough go. Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
I think the big challenge is going to be whether or not that offensive line holds up against LSU's ferocious pass rush.
There's just such a difference in some of these teams.
Yes.
It really is men versus boys with some of these defensive lines, even some of the offensive lines,
right,
that just push guys back 7 yards at a time.
And Jamie, we could sit here and talk about, hey, you can't throw smoke screens 24/7. You have to open it up. Your quarterback cannot throw vertically if he can't get to his 7th drop. 3-step drop, short game. 5-step drop, short to intermediate game. You need 7 steps in order to let your receivers work vertically downfield. If it's 7 steps and he's concentrating on the defensive line because they're in his grill, you won't be able to throw vertically. That will not be a Brady Cook thing.
7 steps?
You cannot go 5 and throw vertically. You could go 5 and throw intermediately, but you have to go 7 because your receivers need time to complete the or at least not complete.
I understand what you have to do, Anthony.
Yeah,
it's can you do it?
That is why I'm asking this. Yeah. If that O-line can protect against LSU, you're going to be a competitor. If they can't, and it starts to go back to Luther Burden here, just stay around the line of scrimmage. We'll just get you the ball, and you just make it happen. Then they're going to get their ass kicked, and it's it's just a hey. You can beat the Kansas States, and you could beat the other non-conference teams. And you could probably beat South Carolina, and you could beat some of these, but you're not a legit contender within that conference. I'm really looking forward to. You got to take care of business against Vanderbilt, but I'm really looking forward to next Saturday's game when they take on LSU, and that's going to be at home. It's an early game too, early kickoff, 11 a.m. in Columbia. Marsh, you going?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Boy,
maybe.
Sounded great.
We'll see. It's 11 o'clock game. I feel like a lot of Mizzou fans were hoping that would be later in the night, so they could really feel that energy at Faurot Field.
Quick question, guys. Why does Mizzou play games at the Dome?
I don't mind that they play at the Dome. I would love them to play Illinois at the Dome.
Okay, that's probably the better. That's probably where I was headed with this.
Yeah.
Was why would you play a game in St. Louis where you're going to get the same amount of fans if you played it in Columbia?
Because you want to, in my opinion, you want to attract St. Louis kids.
Getting them down to Columbia to watch a game with 40,000 rowdy college kids on the campus at their field, that inspires the kids more than going to a half-full dome.
Sure. You're probably right.
Now, if it's Illinois and they sell the place out at 70,000, then different story.
Sure. I think I think the matchup is weird, not necessarily that they're playing at the Dome.
Maybe that's what I mean.
Yeah. Memphis, Illinois, a little border war, absolutely. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Is it pitching? Is it fundamentals? Or is it overall talent that has been an issue for the Redbirds this season? I would say yes. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Well, obviously, if there was just one thing, we would go out and address it or fix it. But I think it's a combination of a lot of things. And, clearly we're not where we want to be. We still believe there's a lot of talent in this clubhouse. And, I know Ollie and his staff are working tirelessly to try to find that right combination. But, when you ask the question, what's going on, it's that classic, when things aren't going right, it comes down to you're not getting those timely hits. When you do get good pitching, you're not hitting. When the pitching isn't there, all of a sudden you're hitting. And that's just a bad combination. And, we know there's some things we've got to address. We got to clean some things up. But I assure you we're working hard to do it.
That was the Cardinals team president, John Mozeliak. It was back in April. That audio courtesy of Bally Sports Midwest.
What's wrong with that audio?
Again, that audio was back in April. Since that point, gentlemen, according to Ryan at the Ryan Shull, 59 and 74 since he made those comments. 59.
Anthony, be patient. Okay, there's still a few games left.
Well, you better hurry. The season wraps up this weekend. All right. Is it pitching fundamentals or overall talent? I would say yes. I would say yes on that.
Care to elaborate?
All right. So let's just start off with the pitching, shall we?
Yeah.
Your ERA is 5.05. That's just the starters.
What's league average?
League average.
Where does that put them in the league?
League average is about 4.27.
Okay.
All right. So at a 5.05. Again, just the starters, not the entire pitching staff. That puts you 26 in Major League Baseball.
How many teams in baseball, Anthony?
30, Jamie. Yeah.
All right, just checking.
For reference sake, you're in the same group as the Pirates, the Nationals, the Royals, the Reds, the A's, and the Rockies. You're in that area.
I mean, it's quite the company.
Not the company you want when it comes to your pitching. And really anything for that matter. I don't think you want to be compared to the Pirates, Nationals, or Royals when it comes to anything in Major League Baseball. But that's where you find yourself as a starting staff. If you want more of the advanced metrics, I got those for you. It's only slightly better if you look at the fielding independent percentage there, which is 4.62. Works the same as ERA, just factors in ballparks and your overall pitching performance, not necessarily how good are you at, stranding runners and whatnot. 24th in Major League Baseball at a 4.62. So the advanced metrics aren't much better, Jamie.
No.
On that.
It's been a bad year.
If you go to your relievers are more league average. Actually, you're a little bit better. 4.15 FIP when it comes to your relievers. That's 13th in baseball. Is it good enough to contend? No. So, yes, it's your pitching. If you go to fundamentals, actually, let's skip over that. Let's just go to overall talent. Is it talent? Yeah. If you had better talent on your pitching staff, you shouldn't have a 5.05 ERA at this point in the year. But you didn't have the talent coming in.
Are you hanging it all on the pitchers, Anthony?
I'm hanging it all on the pitching staff.
Yeah.
The fundamentals, the defense, and, of course, the front office it starts with the front office.
If you have a pie chart, okay?
Yeah.
What's the percentages? Like starting pitching, bullpen, team defense, coaching, pitching staff. Give me your pie chart. I'm anxious to see where you think the biggest problem is surrounding the pitching / defense.
I would say 40% would be starting pitching. About 40.
Okay.
I think another 25% is your defense. And then from there, you can kind of carve out like coaching. Offense has got to get a little blame here and go from there. That's what I would say. And I would group fundamentals in like the coaching. But I think your biggest issue has been starting pitching. Your second biggest issue has been defense, because your run suppression has been awful this year. So it all works hand in hand, right? Your bullpen deserves kind of a 10%.
Well, I think it's more than that for the bullpen.
15, then fine.
See, I'm of the mindset that it's 50% on the starters, looking at, because you added more categories to your pie chart. Yours is way more complicated. Show off.
As always.
Yeah.
I complicate things.
Well, I didn't say that. You did.
I did.
But
I'll own it.
50% for me on the starting pitching. I would go 25% on the bullpen and then whittle your way down from there.
You blame more of the issue on the bullpen than the defense? Well, I mean, when you factor in the blown saves.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's a good call.
And now the blown saves and the bullpen are in collaboration with your starters not getting past 4 or 5 innings every friggin' night.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I give the starting pitching the biggest piece of the pie. Then I go to the bullpen. Then I'll go to the defense.
What if we simplified it even more?
Please do.
Run production.
Yeah.
Run suppression. Because for me, it's about 90% run suppression and 10% run production. Because the offense, you got to take some of the blame there. You don't get to 50, whatever that statistic was, 59 and whatever, if like only half the problem is, or the entire problem is your run suppression. I
don't think it's your run production. Like, you rank, what, 6th or 7th?
You're 68 and 88 this year.
I understand
you're
that.
68 and 88.
Okay, but you're not listening to what I'm saying.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm used to it. When you look at runs scored, offense created, in all of Major League Baseball, I think the Cardinals are a top 10 offense.
You're mid-pack.
I think you're top 10, Anthony.
In runs scored?
No, at all your offensive categories. If you put them all together. If you go to this thing called Fangraphs.
Well, what if you just say run? What if we just say run scored?
Oh well, okay. Okay, but that's kind of skewed too a little bit. But I don't mind. Yeah, let's go with runs scored. Okay. I'm fine with that.
You're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18th. So you're below average in run production too. You stink. Jamie, you stink. You're a bad team.
I'm not. Okay. You know what? A couple things here. One, you're not going to hang it on me that I think this team is good. I come in here every day and I say this team sucks.
I just want you to tell the truth for once.
Oh my God. Every day I come in here and I'm depressed about how bad the season has gone for the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sitting here trying to polish up the world's largest turd, Anthony. Because if I was, I'd be feeding it to you, okay?
I don't want it.
Yeah. I'm trying to find objectively what the hell the problem is here for the Cardinals. And although the run scored could be an issue, or you should have more runs scored, the run suppression could be better with the better defense. It's the pitching.
It's pitching and defense.
It's the pitching first and foremost. It all goes
together.
It doesn't.
What do you mean it doesn't?
It doesn't. If you got a guy who can pitch, swing, and miss, you don't have to have anybody in the field.
You know what? It'd be nice if
you don't have to have anybody in the field.
It'd be nice if you had your outfield saving runs every once in a while, as opposed to giving up bases because you misplayed one in the corner,
if
or you
the ball
airmailed.
Wasn't hit at all.
Your cutoff man.
It'd be nice if the ball wasn't hit at all.
Well, that would help.
Pitch to contact was the problem this year. There was really good contact.
You know, Jamie, they haven't eliminated defense in baseball, though. I'm sorry.
No, and your regular guys, by the way, when you look at team defense, Nolan Arenado had a bit of a stumble out of the blocks, but he ended up being solid defensively. If you take your regular guys, defensively, they were good. Uh-huh. Where your problems lie were with injuries and this flexible roster, putting guys in positions they shouldn't be in. That's where your problem is. And you have another problem in right field. Jordan Walker, he's had a few highlight reel catches. You can just see how good he's going to be. He's also had a few where you're wondering if he's blindfolded. Just saying. Okay, and one just happened the other night where I still don't know what the hell happened. But it doesn't matter. He's out there because you haven't been able to win games. If you were tight in games and you were in a pennant race or the divisional race, he wouldn't be out there. He'd be your DH because he'd be like, I'm locking it down.
Right.
I need defense out there. So for me, overall, the guys who are supposed to be good defensively contributed. But now you're only as good as your weakest link if you're going to be a successful team, which means now they have to work on the offseason on picking up the defense for Jordan Walker. Alec Burleson can't just be a DH and a first baseman, a backup first baseman. You got to be able to put him out in the field. If you're going to try and use his bat on a regular basis, he's got to be able to field accordingly out there, along with everybody else, too. Nolan Gorman has to continue to take steps forward. Mason Wynn, he's been fantastic defensively. So, you know what? There's no rule that says he can't continue to get better. But, yes, the team defense is a big part of this.
Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, it's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. College football, our biggest takeaways from week 4. Jamie and I both like what Deion said after the game. We both think he's 100% right. We'll tell you what he said after Colorado got its rear end handed to it by Oregon. College football observations from week 4 next on 101 ESPN.
substance, not flash. Rooted in substance. Today, we talk with our pads. You talk with your helmet, right? Every moment. The Cinderella story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins. There's a difference, right? There's a difference, right? This game ain't going to be played in Hollywood. It's going to be played on the grass, right? It's going to be played on the grass. Let's go.
So it was Oregon head coach Dan Lanning. If you watched the game, they aired that, and then they just kept pushing it out. They wanted everybody to kind of see what Dan Lanning said before the game. Oregon throttles Colorado 42-6, dropping Deion's program from the ranks. They were 19. They're unranked now. Oregon was 10, and now they are... They move up at all? They moved up one spot in both the coaches poll and the AP Top 25. With Jamie Rivers and Anthony Stalter, no surprise that Oregon won. I did mention this earlier, though. I think it's kind of comical, and I love them. Don't get me wrong. I love the uniforms. I love the different combinations and all that. But Dan Lanning saying that they're about clicks, we're about wins. There's a difference when Oregon has a different uniform combination every single week.
Is that the coach's call?
When they have flat, I'm just saying, overall, this isn't Michigan. You're not Bo Schembechler. You know what I mean? Like, you're not some throwback here. You're not Notre Dame. We're like, we're about tradition and winning.
What's he supposed to say, Anthony?
I'm just saying.
He said fight with their helmets. I thought that was pretty funny, too, because I don't think you're allowed to do that.
No, I was like, wow, we're targeting now? Spearing penalties everywhere?
What are we doing?
That's Colorado State.
That's not how we teach how to tackle anymore.
Yeah. No surprise, all right? 42-6, no surprise.
No surprise there. I thought that, look, Dan Lanning had to pump up his team somehow, some way. He had to get them going. He had to create the chip on the shoulder. Just like Deion has created the chip on the shoulder for his Colorado Buffaloes throughout the first 3 games of their season, making it personal. They got personal. Like, he did the same thing.
Yeah.
And these coaches, it's their job to get these kids all pumped up, go play the best they possibly can.
Let's be real about this. I said this after the first week. Deion has made all of the head coaches in the nation uncomfortable. I said that after week 1. All of these guys now are all paying attention. Dan Lanning probably a little upset that his program isn't the one getting the attention, even though they've clearly got the better team. They're the one that's ranked. So if you're gonna do that, you're gonna get all the attention. You got to be ready for people to be, put you in the bullseye. So that's what happened. And I think the predictable outcome, Oregon was a 21-point favorite. That was not going to be a repeat of TCU.
No.
Here's Deion, though, after the game. Jamie, you and I both loved what he said here.
Love it.
It translates in practice. I don't say stuff just to say it for a click, contrary to what somebody say. But, I keep receipts. But I'm serious. I analyze and I understand what we're up against and what we have and what we need. One thing that I could say honestly and candidly, you better get me right now. This is the worst we're going to be. You better get me right now. Now, I got messengers. God bless him, though, man. He's a great coach. He did a great job. God bless him. He can take their shots. They won. I don't shoot. I don't do that. They won.
Everything he said was right.
He's right. When I heard him say, you better get us now, because this is the worst we're going to be, I turned to Ashley, who was paying no attention to anything that was going on at the time, and I said, that's an incredible statement. Because it's true.
You got 82 transfers this summer.
How many kids do you think are going to be knocking at the door to play for Deion next year?
He's going to have one of the top recruiting classes in the nation.
That. So this is the worst you're going to be for a while. So take your shots. Do it now.
This is the worst they're going to be, and they already pulled off an upset in Fort Worth as a 20.5-point underdog.
Anthony, the most watched frigging football game in I don't even know how long, maybe in ever on ESPN, was against Colorado State.
In the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night.
That wasn't a primetime game.
No.
That didn't kick off until 9:30 our time.
I know. I watched the whole damn game, and I had a few too many bourbons by the end of it.
And you loved every second
who the hell won it. Woke up the next morning and was asked who won. I'm like, Colorado. I didn't know State or... But this is what he's done for this program. And you don't think all eyeballs are still going to be on Colorado next week against USC, even though the nation knows they're probably going to get waxed again?
They're
still going to watch.
Right. All right, other takeaways. What was the best game of the weekend? Even though it was low scoring, it was Ohio State and Notre Dame.
Oh, hands down.
Anthony, explain to me how a college football coach in a historical program, the University of Notre Dame, the game is on the line, and you have 10 players on the field.
Yeah. Apparently, according to Marcus Freeman, they didn't want to get flagged.
For what?
Being offsides, I don't know. You were only going to move the ball an inch. So, for me, I'd rather have 11 players to match their 11 and just take the flag, take the penalty, because the ball's only going to move an inch.
I didn't see it in live action, and I don't know the framing of it. Did they have a timeout left?
I believe they did, but even if they didn't, just take the penalty.
Take the freaking timeout.
Yeah, or maybe they didn't, but just again take the penalty. Get 11 guys on the field.
But wouldn't that be an automatic first down then?
I don't think it would have been.
Well, it would
have to
at the end of the game, the ball was at the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
Right,
It'd
so
be half the distance to the goal.
So
but it would have to be first down then.
But
that's the
there's
game.
only like 3 seconds left.
It's the game.
Still, it's mind-boggling to me as to how you only end up with 10 guys on the field.
That is still well made.
You know what that reminded me
point
of?
is well made.
Of the USC Notre Dame game when Matt Leinart got helped into the end zone, because that was also a big game at the time, and it came down to the final play.
It was Reggie
essentially.
Bush.
Yeah.
Yep. But credit Ohio State on that game-winning drive. They had a 3rd and 19 from the 22 and picked up 21 yards to get a first down on that. They also had to convert a 4th and 7 from the Notre Dame 39. This is all a young, inexperienced quarterback in Kyle McCord playing in a rough environment that night, primetime matchup against a physical Notre Dame team. And he got the job done. And you know what? Even though it was 17-14, when you look at some of the numbers, 6.3 yards per pass for Ohio State, 7 for Notre Dame. If you go to yards per rush, 4.7, 4.5. The offenses were moving. The defenses bowed up in the red zone or bowed up, when they had to.
Yeah.
I thought that was a well-played game, and Ohio State had an opportunity. Ryan Day, I don't know if you heard Ryan Day afterwards.
He goes, it's a Lou Holtz. What the hell did Lou Holtz do to him? Lou Holtz haven't hard enough time.
I credit Dion for that. Ryan Day's all hopped up. He's like, now it's my turn. I want to say something.
Yeah.
What does Lou Holtz think of this?
Lou Holtz is like,
back off.
I can't even remember who you are.
That was such a cringy post-game
It was terrible.
interview. Like, so cringy.
Then they go to Lou Holtz, like, on set, and he's like, I don't even know what the hell's wrong with this guy.
Yeah. This guy's crazy. Which team proved that they are legit? I got one team that nobody's talking about, and it wasn't a big game, but this team is coming.
Can I guess?
Yes.
Is it Oklahoma?
No.
Okay.
What?
No. You talk about, remember I said earlier, like Mizzou don't play with your food?
Yeah.
Against Vanderbilt this weekend. Oklahoma played with their food against Cincinnati. Like that was completely unimpressive.
Is it Kansas?
No.
They're undefeated, by the way.
That's awesome.
Did they win?
Oh, they won.
They did.
Yeah, they're 4-0. Haven't played anybody yet.
Washington?
Washington. Washington with Michael Penix Jr. That offense is incredible. And nobody watches them.
No.
They haven't played a big game yet. They're 8th in the nation. Nobody's talking about them.
24 points in the first quarter.
Washington, Michael Penix Jr. threw for 304 yards and 4 touchdowns. If they kept him in, it could have been 600 with 8 touchdowns. Michael Penix Jr. is the Heisman candidate that nationally is being talked about, but because of Colorado and because of Alabama's struggles, although good win for Alabama. Unfortunately for us, we had Ole Miss, but Washington's a team that they're coming, man. Do we have an update? Is this from Dion?
Oh, I know what this is.
This is a video that was put out, Dion, talking about Travis Hunter, and I think it's pretty interesting. I think you guys will like it.
All right.
I'll read this to you today. I need to play this week. We need to get everything we can so I can get back on the field. I'm not taking no for an answer. Who you think sent me that? How did you know that? Because what? No, you ain't ready, and I care about you more than I care about this game. You're going to change the game of football one day when you're healthy and ready. The future is brighter than mine ever will be and ever was. Relax and get healthy. I love you, son. That was the conversation. I care about y'all more than I care about this game. But I want you to learn throughout this game and throughout trials and tribulations who you are.
That's awesome. He means it.
Let me ask you this. Apart from the glitz and the glamour and the showcase, is Deion changing the college coaching landscape? Because when you think of college football historically, you got the curmudgeon coach that is usually a lot older than everybody and that hates the world, and that we're going to practice in 120-degree weather, and you're going to puke 7 times, and I don't care, and I'm going to kick dirt on you. And here we got Deion, who is outright hugging his players on the field. Guy misses a pass, he talks to him, and he's telling them, like, I care more about you guys, I care about the game, I love you guys. Like, is he changing the landscape from that point to where he's going to maximize the potential of his players because they actually care about him and want to play for him, not because they fear him?
That's a good question.
Like, if you had the choice between, Urban Meyer, okay?
Oh, boy.
No, but hear me out.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more Urban Meyers in the college football landscape of coaching than there are Deion Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
If you had the choice of an Urban Meyer-esque coach for your kid, you have a 5-star recruit, all this stuff, and you had the choice of someone like Deion, where do you want to send your kid?
Deion.
That's why I'm asking, is he changing the landscape?
There's a lot of head coaches, though, that I feel recruit well because
I don't care about recruiting. I'm talking about coaching.
But isn't that part of it, though?
No, recruiting is sales. That's all that is. That's not coaching.
But if you care, but he's still building a program, right? And part of it is
most of those coaches don't care at all about their players. They care about themselves. They care about their paycheck. They care about the wins.
Sure.
Because when that player shows up, and you know that Nick Saban was sitting there in your living room eating cheese sandwiches with mom and dad and telling you how much he loved your kid, yet your kid hasn't played in 2 years.
Yeah.
Do you think he cares about the kid? No,
he cares about winning.
Cares about winning.
Yeah.
So the recruiting is straight up sales.
Sure.
I'm talking coaching to where you're maximizing the potential of your actual players.
Let me counter this. How many other coaches don't need the money and aren't worried about the criticism?
All of them. None of them need damn money. See how much money they're making?
Okay. How many don't?
Drink is making $3 million a year.
How many don't have, like, Deion obviously has an ego about him.
He's an empire too.
But you think about these head coaches, yes, they might be paid well, but they're so worried about the next step or their legacy. I think that he's kind of pushing that to the side because he doesn't care. He will be prime, whether it's in Colorado or Jackson State.
I agree, but I think he's changing it.
I think he can change it because he's so comfortable within his own skin.
Like it or not, the modern-day athlete tends to respond better to what Deion is doing than what the others are doing. I know that the others are having more wins and more success, but this is Deion's first year at this level of coaching. Talk to me 4 years from now.
Yeah, he's barely scratching the surface.
Talk to me 4 years from now. I'm just wondering if it's going to change at some point to where you see a lot of the coaching getting younger, more attached to the younger players that are out there. And I know Deion's, 56, 57 years old. Some of these guys, most of them are 60-plus years old that are even older, for that matter. I don't know. Just curious.
It's interesting. I don't know the answer to that.
I don't either.
Not everybody. Obviously, there's only one Deion. So I think that has to be factored in, but it's an interesting question nonetheless. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. Prophecies and lies. Didn't we change this up? There was a good text.
Yeah, it was I forgot what the number started with, but it was prophecies and it sounded good at the time.
All right, we're going to do that. Prophecies and sounded good at the time. Next on 101 ESPN.
Anthony FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. They've always got great things going on, and they like to take care of all of their customers all the time. But right now, they're going to take care of new customers because new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. So take $200 and you get it in bonus bets, and that's win or lose. So it doesn't matter if your team wins or loses, FanDuel's got you covered.
So have you been on the fence? Now's the time to try FanDuel, the app. It's easy to use, wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, live betting, same-game parlays. You could do a same-game parlay for tonight. There are the Eagles and Bucks game if you want to, or maybe you're looking at the Rams and Bengals. Either way, visit FanDuel.com/fast. Again, FanDuel.com/fast to take advantage of the promo that Jamie just read to you, and then you can play tonight. The doubleheader in Monday Night Football, all courtesy of FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL.
21 and over, President Illinois. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Over the weekend, the Blues had 2 split squad games, winning 3-2 in the first game and losing 5-1 against the Arizona Coyotes. That game took place in Wichita. The Cards lost 12-2 yesterday to the San Diego Padres. They are off today, but they will take on the Milwaukee Brewers tomorrow. And City defeated Minnesota by a final score of 2-1. They'll be going up against Sporting KC on Saturday. Tonight, we'll have Monday Night Football. Eagles and Bucks pregame starts at 6. Coming up next, we have Prophecies and... well, it sounded good at the time. That's coming your way next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by
Saliga.
Heating and Cooling, an independent American standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
All right, you just heard Andrew Marsh. We're going to play Prophecies, and sounded good at the time. Here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. These are things that predictions that we made last week. Let's all start off with, let's feel good about ourselves for 1 second here, all right? What was your number one prophecy from last week? The thing that you felt good about, nailing when it comes to your predictions.
The one prediction that I was pretty steadfast on, that I didn't hear a lot of people supporting it, was the Browns over the Titans. I just thought the Titans were garbage. Tannehill?
They're human beings.
Yeah, they were garbage at football.
Okay. Fair.
And not that I believe much in the Browns, but I believe the Browns would beat the Titans. That's the one I was like, I don't care. I'm not changing my pick. I'm not. I don't care what everybody says. I'm not changing
your number one prophecy. All right, Marsh, your number one prophecy, the one that you're most proud of.
Yeah, the one I'm most proud of is the Dolphins -6. That one definitely cleared. May have had a little fun with FanDuel this week too, and that was part of my fun weekend.
Your fun weekend. There you go.
Fun weekend.
Nice.
Thank you, Miami.
Nice. My number one, Jamie, you actually mentioned this. I said that Kirk Cousins would throw for well over 300 yards against the Chargers, and he'd throw for about three touchdowns. Well, he threw for 367 yards and exactly 3 touchdowns. So I was happy about that one. Your number one regret when it comes to it sounded good at the time. The one that you really biffed.
Well, I don't know if it's a really biffed on it, but I had the Ravens waxing the Colts. I didn't believe in the Minshew magic.
Right. That one.
I mean,
you had a good weekend. So
I had a good weekend.
If that was your worst one,
the Jaguars, I consider that a bit of an anomaly. I don't know what the hell happened there, but. I remember talking about the Ravens last week. Even though I wasn't happy with Lamar and the offense, I still thought, they're going to pound the snot out of the Colts.
Sure.
They don't have their starting quarterback.
Right.
Yeah, and Minshew tried to give him back the game, stepping out of bounds like Dan Orlovsky.
Jeez.
But he had just a little too much magic for them.
Yeah. A little too much Matt Gay field goals.
That's true.
Marsh, I know you got one.
Oh, absolutely. It's the Buffalo.
There it is.
37-3 victory over Washington. I went with the Commanders last week, and so I am 0-2 on fading Buffalo. Congratulations to Donnie Fandango. Ooh. Maybe I just do it next week and I propel them to the Super Bowl.
But Marshy, let me ask you something, because when I was looking through some of the picks and I saw that you had taken the Commanders, I just said, why? What was it about this game that made you feel like, the Commanders over the Bills?
I mean, that sounds stupid, but also look around the league and see that Indy beat Baltimore, Arizona beat Dallas.
Yeah, but that was this week. So your decision was made prior.
That's what I'm saying. There's bound to be an upset every given week. There was a few this week. It just didn't happen to be the one that I chose. So I don't think I'm that dumb, or
I didn't call you dumb. I'm just trying to figure out.
I'm calling myself dumb, actually, I'm not calling myself dumb. I was just trying to pick an upset, and I thought maybe this would be the one because Chase Young's playing, and I think he's a good player. He's a good defender. They just happened to make me look dumb. What if I picked Indianapolis? Then I look over the Ravens, you'd be like, there's no way they win that game. But then I look like a genius.
Yeah, Marcia, I'm just trying to dive into your process as to how you...
this is my process. I'm just trying to pick
You're just trying to pick a...
And at some point, Josh Allen will look terrible because he has in the past. He did in week 1, so I figured maybe he'll look bad again. So I went with Washington.
All right.
And they were 2-0.
They were.
Yeah.
They fell from the ranks of the unbeaten.
I'm diving into Marshy's brain for a minute, that's all.
My biggest regret / sounded good at the time was the opposite of what Jamie said for his prophecy. It did sound good at the time. Browns, no Nick Chubb. Titans, Mike Vrabel. They always keep a game close. I had visions of Deshaun Watson with a couple of more pick sixes or fumble sixes, and the Browns scuffing on a short week against a Titans team that's not great, but again, usually plays hard under Mike Vrabel. When it was 13-3 at half, I said to myself, I deserve this. You know?
Well, Derrick Henry only had 20
Derrick
yards.
Henry was completely bottled up.
I don't even... What happened? Was that just the defense?
The Browns just dominated Tennessee's offensive line.
Myles Garrett had 3.5 sacks.
He was, even with, there was a couple of times in the second half, you're like, well, maybe they could. Myles Garrett happened. It was right before half because the Titans were driving.
Did you see the Titans were using 2 tight ends to try and block him?
Yes.
He kept going back and forth and changing, and they were going in motion trying to figure out where the hell he was lining up to stop him.
Jamie, this is one of those inside baseball things that I wish I'd thought about beforehand. Jim Schwartz, excuse me, is the defensive coordinator for Cleveland. He was just in Tennessee last year as a consultant. He knew Tennessee's offensive line. He would have found ways to get pressure, whether it was Myles Garrett or somebody else, and wreck Tennessee's offense. And that's exactly what he did. So that was kind of my biggest. That sounded good at the time. I'll give you a couple more. Ole Miss. I had Ole Miss on the road.
So did I.
I fell for the week prior. I'm like, Alabama, watch this. Nobody's talking about Bama. And maybe it was the Texas game. Nobody's talking about Bama. And then Texas got it handed to him. Lane Kiffin wasn't going to go into Tuscaloosa and beat Alabama. Now, I thought they outplayed him the first half, quite frankly. But then in the second half, Alabama's defense just completely took over.
Poor Trevor. Our fade or follow guy.
Oh, well, he did pretty good, though.
He did.
He racked up, what, 200 from FanDuel?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing to cry about.
No,
that's for sure.
No, and he actually didn't sound. He didn't sound like he was into it on Friday. He sounded like
he was already celebrating the weekend.
Yeah, he's like,
maybe he wanted Alabama, but he couldn't go against following us because that's what got him there.
Yeah, we appreciate that. I think that's it in terms of like the really bad. Oh, well, it sounded good at the time. I don't think I made any other proclamations. I'm looking at the other NFL schedule.
How about Detroit beating your Atlanta Falcons? You definitely did not bring that up.
That was not in question.
That was not in question at all. Desmond Ridder looked like Desmond Ridder. The week prior, remember I said he played terrible for 3 quarters, and then in the 4th quarter he came alive? Desmond Ridder decided to just play terrible for all 4 quarters in that one.
But was he terrible, or did the Lions disrupt him?
I think the Lions did a great job with Atlanta's running game. There's no secret here. If you slow down Atlanta's running game, they can't throw a forward pass. If you can't stop the run, Atlanta's going to win close games. Credit Detroit being down 3 defenders in that game. They bottled up Bijan Robinson. They forced Desmond Ridder to play quarterback. He's not good. And they won that game convincingly. And credit to local product, Sam Laporta. Had a huge game, rookie tight end for the Lions. Caught a 45-yard pass where nobody was on him within, I think, all 45 yards. He had a big game. And Jared Goff, the Lions bounced back. Very good win for them.
Goff finally threw an interception.
It was a bad one, too, right to Jesse Bates.
He had been on quite a run there.
He did.
Historical.
Mm-hmm. I didn't think the Lions offense, I thought the Falcons, that was a really good defensive game. I thought the Falcons did a nice job against Goff and the Lions. But when you're on the field the entire game, you're going to break, and that's what happened.
By the way, we got a text from Trevor. He said he was in the middle of an Uber. He did like Ole Miss in the game.
Okay, thanks, Trevor. I just didn't feel the same excitement, but now that makes sense.
We talked with Matt Holliday a few weeks ago, and he was also getting in an Uber.
Yeah.
So, maybe there's some Uber etiquette when you're in there.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's probably worried about his Uber rating and things like this. So, Trevor.
For sure.
Hey, nice run. We're sorry we couldn't get it done and talk to you again on Friday, but again, pretty good run. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN NFL 4 Downs. Next. Went down to the Missouri Athletic Club today. In fact, I always talk about getting Jamie involved in the whiskey club. They had a little flyer there at the Missouri Athletic Club today. I was gonna grab it for you. I'll grab it for you tomorrow because I always go down to the Missouri Athletic Club during the week. I get my workout done, get changed and shoot right down 270 and come back to the station here. But I love the Missouri Athletic Club. I love being able to work out there. If I'm there earlier, I get a chance to prep for the show using their business center. But the people are fantastic down there. It was packed today, but it was hopping, man. It was great. Trainers, they got personal trainers. But then you walk around, you can see tennis lessons are being given, basketball lessons, they got racquetball going on, squash. The Missouri Athletic Club kind of has everything you need right there in one club. And actually, it's two clubs. They got the downtown spot and the West Clubhouse. I always enjoy going to both, but the West Clubhouse is one I frequent often. Yeah, we'll get Jamie involved in that whiskey club. Missouri Athletic Club, that's my MAC. For NFL 4 Downs here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We do need, though, a Gauntlet contestant. So if you want to play in the Gauntlet in about 10 minutes, 314-399-9646 to the Air Comfort Service text line. You can take on Jamie, Marsh, or me coming up in 10 minutes in the Gauntlet. Again, just texting Gauntlet 314-399-9646.
First down.
All right, gentlemen, a tough Tough day for the Chicago Bears. Not only did they lose
In what way?
Well, they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs by a lot, and they embarrassed themselves in front of one of the biggest pop singers in the world. And Taylor Swift, she was at the game, too.
Yeah.
That was weird that she was at the game and sitting right next to Travis Kelce's mom. I mean,
Yeah.
wow.
Anyways, Justin Fields a part of the Bears and their struggles.
Is he?
Should the Bears bench Justin Fields?
Okay, so here's where I am on this. Why? What does it matter? Like, what does it matter at this point? Who the hell's your backup quarterback? And
Nathan Peterman.
Okay,
Oh, my goodness.
Exactly.
Absolutely not doing that.
So no matter who it is right now, Justin Fields, you have committed to this guy to being your starting quarterback, or at least until you last in the league and take Caleb Williams in the first overall pick, if he decides to leave college for your crappy program right now. But you have to stick with it. You have to. Nathan Peterman, or whether it would be Chase Daniel or Nick Foles or any one of your, veteran backup quarterback guys, this team is it should be in a full rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the way Justin Fields is playing. Don't think he's playing very well. But I don't know if the answer is taking him out of the games.
No. I'm with you, Jamie. Everybody kind of knows my feelings on Justin Fields. I said pump the brakes in the offseason when he was getting MVP love.
You had him win MVP.
I did not. You know that. I don't think that Justin Fields is going to be a franchise quarterback for the Bears. I don't. I don't think he can read defenses. I don't think he processes quickly. I think he's a runner. However, you're right. They got Nathan Peterman behind him. You're not going to develop Nathan Peterman. You might as well keep coaching Justin Fields. Whether he eventually breaks through or not, you got to keep coaching him at this point until you get in a position where you can select a better quarterback. You will need to do that. You passed on Bryce Young. You passed on C.J. Stroud. Yeah, you gave up the first overall pick this past year. You're going to be right in position to draft another QB. They haven't won since like October of last year. They went on the road and beat the Patriots on Monday Night Football. I think that was their last victory. You're not going to win many games.
They haven't won a game since Major League Baseball was in their 2022 regular season.
That's rough. That's a rough stretch there. But otherwise, you might as well keep playing them and hope it clicks.
Second down.
Another quarterback that maybe should be benched is Mr. Limited, as they lost 70-20 against the Dolphins. Should Sean Payton bench Russell Wilson?
All right, so let's get this out of the way first. Russell Wilson wasn't the issue yesterday. They gave up 70 points. It wasn't on Russell Wilson. Here's why Sean Payton might consider it, though. You clearly have a culture problem. The Denver Broncos showed up in Miami yesterday, went out there for about a quarter when they trailed 14-7, and then decided to give up. You have a culture problem. A year ago, you had a culture problem too, and we all blame Nathaniel Hackett. And I love the hiring of Sean Payton. I love the hiring of Sean Payton.
Sean Payton might have wanted to watch his words before he took over that team and started bad-mouthing people.
Or you know it's bad, and now you take the steps. So maybe you say, I'm turning the offense over to Jarrett Stidham because the players actually respect him and like him and will play for him, and you go from there. But make no mistake, Russell Wilson was not the issue yesterday in Miami. You don't give up 70 points and just blame the quarterback.
Well, Russell Wilson still threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
He had to put the ball in the air every time.
I know. I'm just saying.
Third down.
Some empty calories on that one.
Looking at the wrong game.
No, he did. He threw for 100. He threw for 305 yards.
Now I'm in week 2. All right.
306. He threw for 306.
Yeah. He didn't have 3 touchdowns, though.
No, he had a touchdown.
Yeah.
And a pick.
My bad.
Guys, the Bengals are taking on the Rams tonight. Can we kiss the Bengals playoff hopes goodbye tonight?
If they drop to 0-3, yes. 0-3 is a death sentence in the National Football League. I realize that some 0-3 teams still make the playoffs. It is very rare. So you can eliminate the Bengals tonight if they lose to the Rams, and I wouldn't be shocked at all if they did. Joe Burrow is a game-time decision. I think defenses have kind of figured out what the Bengals are doing with Jamar Chase because Chase has been shut down. They don't have a dynamic running game, even though they have a good running back in Joe Mixon. It's not dynamic. The defense has lost some key pieces, as I have said since the offseason. If you fall to 0-3, yes, that's it. Because you can already cross off Denver. They're 0-3. You can get Carolina. You're done. Chicago's done. And Marshy's Vikings are done at 0-3.
Whoa!
They're done for sure. But you're really done at 0-3 in the AFC.
Yes.
If you're in the NFC, you squint real hard, you can maybe see it. In the AFC, there's no chance.
No.
So it's a must-win game for the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
4th down.
Are the Arizona Cardinals actually good?
Man, they play hard. They played Washington tough on the road in week 1. They had the Giants down 28-7 in week 2, and then they thoroughly thumped Dallas yesterday, rushing for 222 yards against that defense.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're not good, but they're at the very least, they're well coached.
Yeah, I'll give you that. They still lost to the Giants and the Commanders. They're not good. They're you know what?
They thumped Dallas.
I understand that.
Took them behind the old woodshed.
But like Marshy said, every now and then there's going to be that upset. And this happened to be it. I don't know how the hell it happened. And as it was happening in real time, I still said, how the hell is this happening?
I kept waiting for Dallas
I
to
thought
come
Dak
back.
Prescott was hurt. I thought like something like...
Right. No.
I don't think they're a good team. I think that they are well coached, and I think they play very hard.
They play, yes.
And that's where they're at.
That's the extent of it. That's as far as we're going to go.
That's it. That's all. It's as far as I can go.
Gauntlet next on 101 ESPN.
Selling your home can be very stressful. Obviously, the market is up and down and all around. And trusting the sale of your home with maybe an inexperienced agent or just an average agent, that's not the way to go. The way to go is to trust Gloria Liu, the expert with your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria is the best in the business, and here's why. She already has the buyers. If you're looking for buyers and traffic to your home, Gloria Liu has you covered. She's got a database with thousands of ready buyers, and these buyers will create a higher demand for your property, hopefully multiple offers and more money for you at the end of it all. And Gloria also has several different options that help you sell your home, whether it's cash offers or certain closing dates, doesn't matter. But the best one for me is the guaranteed sales. All that means is Gloria will sit down with the seller and agree upon a sales price, and she will sell the home for that price, or she buys it herself and she guarantees all that in handwriting. So please don't wait another minute. Call Gloria Liu. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. That number's 314-325-6888. Again, that's 314-325-6888, or you can visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Conditions do apply. Gloria and the seller must agree on price and possession date.
categories, one challenger. Can you master the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit masstour.com.
4:03, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Jamie Rivers and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome in Clayton to the Gauntlet. What's up, Clayton?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
First time in the Gauntlet?
Yes, sir.
Well, welcome aboard. Would you like to take on Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, or me today?
I'm going to take on Marshy.
All right, Marsh. You ready, Marsh?
I'm ready to go.
Wait. I want to find out something here. Clayton, any particular reason you want to take on Marshy today?
I want Marshy because I want hockey.
Oh, wow. We should have picked Anthony. Anthony's had a historical run of like 75 hockey times in a row. That's all right. You go through the victory will go through Marshy then.
There you go. All right, Clayton, go ahead. Tell Marsh to spin the wheel.
Marshy, spin that wheel.
All right, so we know that you want hockey, or you're hoping for hockey. What do you not want?
I don't want random.
Okay. You did not get your wish, and you did get your wish.
You didn't get random. However, you didn't get hockey.
How do you feel about baseball?
Like it.
Okay.
Clayton says, I like baseball.
Our guy Andrew's pretty good at baseball, too. He's surprisingly good at baseball.
Now, why do you say surprising?
Well, because I didn't expect it. That's usually surprising.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. You're welcome, Anthony.
Fair. All right, 4 questions to Clayton. Same 4 questions, all baseball to Marsh. Every question is worth 2 points unless Clayton or Marsh need the options, and then those questions are worth 1 point. Clayton, are you ready?
Let's get it going.
Question 1. The last time the Braves lost a World Series, they were swept by which team in 1999?
Back 2001. But options.
Yankees, Red Sox, Blue Jays.
Let's go with
Clayton, did you say Yankees? Final answer? You're cutting out a little bit.
Yep, Yankees, final answer.
Okay.
All right, question 2, Clayton. Which team recently became just the 4th team in MLB history to hit 5 or more home runs in 3 straight games?
Options.
Was it the Seattle Mariners, the Houston Astros, or the Tampa Bay Rays?
Finally.
You're cutting out again.
Cutting
Sorry.
out.
Clayton, what was your answer?
Mariners.
Mariners, gotcha. All right, question number 3. Who won last season's World Series MVP? Who won last season's World Series MVP? Did you say options, Clayton?
Yep, options.
Jose Altuve, Jeremy Pena, Kyle Tucker.
Go Pena. Final answer.
Okay.
All right, final question. Lucas Giolito has played for 4 different teams. Currently, he plays for the Guardians, had a short stint with the Angels, played most of his career with the White Sox, but started his career with which team in 2016?
I need the options.
Was it the New York Yankees, the New York Mets, or the Washington Nationals?
Washington Nationals, final answer.
All right.
Well, the reception's a lot better now.
Yeah.
Were you at a bomb shelter before, Clayton?
Yeah, probably. I get bad service around where I'm at. So
Oh, okay.
No worries.
No worries. We got through it, buddy.
How you feeling, Clayton?
Not too good.
Okay.
All right, well, our guy Marshy with his fresh hairdo, and he's all got his green machine outfit on. He's got the boots. Where are you going after the show, Marshy?
Going to dinner.
Okay.
Is it a special dinner?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
It looks like it. It's a compliment.
Thank you.
He's looking good. You're looking good, Marsh.
Sometimes I look like I just rolled right out of bed and went to work.
Well, sometimes that's the case.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is.
All right, hey, enough of the joking. Tell him, Jamie.
Oh, you better pack a lunch, buddy.
All right. Marsh, you ready?
I am ready.
All right, question 1. The last time the Braves lost a World Series, they were swept by which team in 1999? Your category is baseball.
1999, I believe that would be the New York Yankees. Can't think of another team. I think it's the Yankees. Final answer.
All right, Marshy, question 2. Which team recently became just the 4th team in MLB history to hit 5 or more home runs in 3 straight games?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Which team recently became the 4th team in MLB history to hit 5 or more home runs in 3 straight games?
Wow. I have no idea. Let's use the options.
Was it the Seattle Mariners, the Houston Astros, or the Tampa Bay Rays?
Let's go with Seattle. Final answer.
Question 3. Who won last season's World Series MVP?
That would be Jeremy Pena. Final answer.
Final question. Follow along.
Oh, jeez.
Lucas Giolito has played for 4 different teams. Currently, he plays for the Guardians. Had a short stint with the Angels. Played most of his career with the White Sox. But started his career with which team in 2016?
Ooh. You know what? I think I know this because of John Fozelak. I think he mentioned that Adam Eaton was traded to Washington from the White Sox for Lucas Giolito. So I'm going to say the Washington Nationals. Final answer.
Okay. Let's go over these. Which team recently became just the 4th team in Major League Baseball history to hit 5 or more home runs in 3 straight games? Clayton, you said the Mariners. Marsh, you said the Mariners. Correct answer is?
The Houston Astros, Chris.
Houston Astros. We have a 0-0 tie. The last time the Braves lost a World Series, they were swept by which team in 1999? Clayton, you said the Yankees. Marsh, you said the Yankees. Correct answer is?
It was the Yankees.
But Marsh didn't need the options. 2-1 lead for Marsh. Who won last season's World Series MVP? Clayton, you said Jeremy Pena. Marsh, you said Jeremy Pena. Correct answer is?
Well, you guys would have been right if you'd have said Jeremy Pena.
But Marsh didn't need the options. Marsh has a 4-2 lead. Comes down to this. Lucas Giolito has played for 4 different teams. Currently plays for the Guardians. Had a short stint with the Angels. Played most of his career with the White Sox, but started his career with which team in 2016? Clayton, you said the Nationals. Marsh, you said the Nationals. Correct answer is?
Marshy made a John Fozelak reference.
Yeah.
It was the Washington Nationals.
Clayton.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose. Not today.
Marsh did not need the options on that one either. 6-3 victory over Clayton. Clayton, sorry, man. Thanks for playing, though.
Hey, thanks, guys. Marshy, you're on fire, dude.
Thanks. Hey, all thanks to John Fozelak, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
It set up well for him today. Clayton, thanks for listening, man.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
There you go. There you have it. Nice job there, Marsh.
I appreciate it, Anthony.
I
You got it
honestly
done.
can't believe that Marshy referenced a John Fozelak mic drop.
Do you remember that?
No,
Vaguely.
I don't. You pulled it out like it was yesterday, but I know it was a long time ago. And he's like, "Hey, he's talking about the Marshy retained John Fozelak's mic drop."
Marsh can connect the dots with things like video games. He'll connect the dots with.
It's pretty impressive.
It's typically things that you wouldn't think Marsh would connect,
Totally
but he does.
agree.
Yeah, but he gets them right.
Well done, Andrew. Well
nice
done.
job, kid.
It's weird because I, can't remember what I did yesterday sometimes.
Hey, that's all right.
Or
That's usually my
remember where
problem.
my wallet's at, or my keys when I'm trying to leave for work. But I can remember a mic drop probably from 3 months ago.
You sound like Chris Farley's character in on Saturday Night Live when he's doing it's like Brennett Brower or something like that, and he's like, "Sure, I don't eat with a fork." Or you ever see those? He goes through all those. All right, Dom and friends. Our guy Dom is back on The Athletic making predictions about the Blues. We'll tell you what his projections say for your St. Louis Blues next on 101 ESPN. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Jamie Rivers and Andrew Marsh and Anthony Stalter. So our guy Dom,
He's been at it again.
on the Athletic, well liked because of his computer rankings. He put together a projection for the Blues.
Is it projection, or is it just flat out just an attack on the Blues?
Here's why it's not an
He attacked
attack.
the Blues. He attacked the people of St. Louis, and
Did he?
I'm not happy about it.
Okay. I don't think that...
A little much?
I don't think that's raw emotion when you're only using computer numbers, you know?
I think Dom actually might be a computer.
He might be.
I'm wondering if he's just AI generated. Like, does he exist or not? Like, I'm not sure.
It's entirely possible.
I haven't met the man yet, so I can't prove whether or not there's actually a physical person attached.
Yeah.
But I don't like his numbers.
He's like Sonny from iRobot.
He is. Exactly. Yeah. All right. Although not well liked like Sonny.
Well, not a lot of people like Sonny, but if you watch the movie, spoiler alert, it's been out for a while now. He's actually a good guy.
He is. He's totally a good robot. Anyways, back to Dom here, projecting 80.2 points for your St. Louis Blues this upcoming season. Jamie.
Is that first half, Anthony?
That's for the whole season, Jamie. Does that make you want to throw up? Punch Dom's computer?
No.
Or?
Oh, yeah, I thought you were going to say Dom. I was like, I'm not going to punch Dom.
No.
It makes me scratch my head. Like, how does everybody else have it so wrong? Like, watching different sports networks, catching TSN up in Canada. They talked about the Blues being a 90-point team. NHL Network, more than one person talking about the Blues being between a 90 to 95-point team. And Dom, good old Dom, set him at 80 points. What'd they have last year?
They had like 82 or something?
Okay, I have to look at this really quick. Because
I think he was spot on last year.
No, he wasn't. We were actually worse than what he projected. I'll tell you that. So last year, the Blues had 81 points. So you're telling me the team's going to be worse than last year?
I wouldn't think so.
And, let's just be real for a second.
Objectively, no.
You lost Tarasenko, O'Reilly, and those guys, but they were underperforming last year. And you finished half of your season with a lot of younger players, new players. I'm sorry. I'm not willing to buy all the hype, like this team's a Stanley Cup contender and all that stuff, but I'm not willing to say that they're an 80-point team. Like, that puts them back in 6th place in the division. There's no freaking way. So, yeah, I strongly disagree with 80 points for this Blues team. And watching them so far in training camp, and the Arizona Coyotes game in Wichita aside, these are preseason games. That was the first game they had. This team is a really hardworking team. The culture is back. The guys are there. Like, there's an excitement. There's a buzz around this team. There's no way this is an 80-point team. I'm sorry. I just can't go there.
In terms of percentage of playoff chances, Dom has got them at 8%. Only an 8% chance.
Well, if you only have them getting 80 points, they're only going to be an 8% playoff.
It's kind of correlated.
It's directly correlated. It's dumb again.
0%
the Blues
chance
will be fighting. The Blues will be absolutely fighting for a playoff spot for sure.
0% chance, obviously, to make the Stanley Cup.
Well, it's personal.
Again, it's correlated.
So Dom's not really going out on a limb there. There's only two teams that get to the Stanley Cup final. So the odds are greater that your team that you pick, unless it's like a massive favorite on paper, it's easy to say 0% chance.
All right, so the strengths for the Blues, the Blues have a legitimate top line. Yeah,
they do.
Would you say that's their number one strength?
No.
Would you say their balance is their number one strength?
Team depth is their number one strength.
I agree.
They do have a good top line. Thomas, Kyrou, and Buchnevich, if it stays that way. There's no guarantee it's going to stay that way. And I can tell you this, it won't stay that way. There'll be peaks and valleys throughout the season to where that line gets broken up. Knock on wood, hopefully no injuries that interfere with any of that stuff. But Chief is going to have to mix and match at times based on individual performance and guys who are going, guys who aren't. So do they have a legitimate top line? They do. if they all perform up to their standard. And all three guys could be 85-plus point guys. Quite honestly, they should be. But that's not their best feature. To me, it's the fact that you follow up with three other lines behind them that can play against any line. If the fourth line is Blais, Sundqvist, and Ritchie, Blais, Sundqvist, Toropchenko, Neighbors, Sundqvist, and Toropchenko, your fourth line can play with any line in the NHL. Mm-hmm. I don't mean on a regular basis, but there's no panic if those guys are out there against McDavid, McKinnon, Matthews, any of these guys. You're okay. Whereas last year, you'd be like, what? Get off! Clear it!
Now you're on board. I'm on board now.
That was the joke.
Yeah. Wait, what? Yeah. Weaknesses, according to Dom. The Blues defenseman, other than Calle Rosen, is to underperform this season.
Okay, it's all coming to me now. The fact that he said, despite Calle Rosen, do you know why, Anthony?
Because Calle Rosen's kind of like an analytical darling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the computer said, hey, Calle Rosen's your best defenseman.
So Dom's going
That just shows me that, does this guy watch the games?
No, he doesn't.
Probably not.
This is all computer generated. I like Calle Rosen. I think he's an incredible dude. Great teammate, works hard, does whatever the team asks of him. He's not a number one defenseman. Not on any team in the NHL is he a number one defenseman. He's not a top four defenseman on any team in the NHL. Let's just remember what he is. But he does it great. Praise to Calle Rosen. He's out kicking what he was supposed to be able to do, and now he's actually forced himself into the conversation as a guy on a two-way contract, which means the Blues can send him down at any point. It doesn't have to be in the NHL. So props to Calle Rosen. My disgust is not with Calle Rosen. My disgust is that this computer just picked a guy with the best plus-minus, basically, last year. It's just not fact at all.
They have another Dom and friends, of course.
He doesn't have friends.
There's another.
I'm going to stand by it, Anthony.
I'm sure he has a friend.
Yeah.
Somebody
computer-generated friend.
Plankton's computer wife, Karen.
Right. Is that her name?
Yeah, we learned that
we did this in the Gauntlet. Yeah.
I wasn't here that day.
Oh, yeah, you weren't.
It's okay, guys.
Yeah, you were gone last Monday. There's another category called wild card, and the players that he mentions in that, which could be the difference in the Blues having more points than what this computer says, is Jakub or Jacob Vrana, Kapanen, and Blais. And if they can be the guys that we saw at the back half of the year last year, perhaps that this Blues team can propel forward in the standings this upcoming season.
Yeah, I'd also add Jake Neighbors to that mix as well. If Jake Neighbors has the 15-plus goal season that I think he's capable of, then he certainly helps this team out too. If Brandon Saad can get himself back in the 20-goal category, Braden Shen continues playing the way he did last year, I'm sorry. Under no circumstances do I see this Blues team getting 80 points. Under absolutely no circumstances do I see that. I just don't at all.
I'm with you. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter will play Narrative or Reality next. Jamie, when you want to purchase a home, who do you call?
Stewie.
That's right. You may not call the realtor first. You may call Stewie because you want to know where the market is. You want to know where the rates are. You want to know how that's going to impact you. And here's the thing with Stewie, too. I've heard him mention this before. If you go to Stewie and you get all set up, you got your loan, or maybe you're refinancing, you get your number locked in, you're ready to go, and you worry about the number, the rates dropping at any point, well, you can call him right back. He's got the information for you, the advice for you to put you up in a good spot so that you're going to save money over the course of your loan. Whether you're purchasing a home, whether you're refinancing, debt can be scary. Maybe you want to get out of debt and you want to do it a smart way. Call our guy Stewie. It's phenomenal.
Give him a call. He's also got pre-approval letters for you. So instead of wasting your time and waiting on a pre-approval letter because you're in a bidding war for a home, no, Stewie wants you to win that bid. He wants you to get that house. He hooks you up with a pre-approval letter that you yourself can produce and give it to the realtor for your offer. All he cares about is you being taken care of. And all you have to do in return is call Stewie. Call him at his personal cell phone number, which is 314-324-4440.
Again, 314-324-4440.
If you can't remember that number, it's real easy. Anthony, what can you do?
Google the bagel loan.
NMLS number 226715.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues had a split squad game over the weekend. 2 games, 3-2 win against the Arizona Coyotes, and then a 5-1 loss against the Coyotes in Wichita. We had our Blues Q's today. We just talked about Dom and Friends, the Blues season preview. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the 101 mobile app. You can find the full show there. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. The Cards lost 12-2 yesterday against the San Diego Padres. They are off today. They'll take on the Milwaukee Brewers tomorrow. And City SC defeated Minnesota 2-1. They'll take on Sporting KC on Saturday. Don't forget, tonight we'll have Monday Night Football. It's the Eagles going up against the Bucks. Pregame starts at 6. We have narrative or reality coming up next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffAutoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Time to play narrative or reality. It's the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh.
All right, gentlemen, narrative or reality. The Miami Dolphins are the best team in the NFL.
Despite hanging 70 on the board yesterday, I still think that is narrative. I have the San Francisco 49ers as the number one team and the best team in the National Football League.
Tough crowd, man. Tough crowd.
And you're with me.
No, I'm not, actually. How can you go against a team that put up 70?
Because I think the 49ers are the best team in the National Football League.
Everybody in the league so far. I mean, they're running away with it in the AFC right now.
Jamie.
However, the 49ers are the best team in the NFL.
There it is.
They had a better defense.
There it is.
Yeah, way better D down there in San Fran.
Mm-hmm.
Well said.
What? They do. Everyone knows that.
Go ahead, Marsh.
Narrative or reality. Notre Dame wins against Ohio State if they have 11 guys on the field for the final play of the game.
Reality for me. And here's why. Because I did a little diving today on the interwebs. And one time is excusable. They had 10 guys on the field for the last two plays. So all the things we talked about earlier, Anthony.
What coach fell asleep on the sidelines?
About like, oh, quick, just spike the ball. Oh, they're worried about offside. No, they were asleep at the wheel. Full on asleep at the wheel with the pedal pinned to 100. Yeah, sorry. It's a reality. I think that they have, they certainly have a better chance. But two last plays, 10 players on the field. Wow. It's inexcusable. Someone today should be fired. Fire somebody. I don't care if it's the assistant water boy.
Yeah.
Fire him. It's his fault.
Well, the assistant water boy could be the next coach of the Miami Dolphins down in 20 years.
Yeah.
Then fire someone else. Somebody has to go today. Mm-hmm. We're having a press conference. Somebody is leaving the building.
We put him in charge. We fixed the problem.
Sir,
he's no longer here.
That guy cuts the grass on the field. He should have known. We only had 10 guys on the field.
Or somebody else.
Inexcusable.
It is inexcusable. I still think it's a bit of a narrative because, Ohio State was likely going to score with that tush-push play.
The Jordan Love play?
Yep. No, the Jalen Hurts play.
He tried the tush-push.
Yeah.
The tush just didn't go anywhere. He's like, man, you guys are heavier than I thought.
He didn't realize he was the one that was supposed to be pushed into the field of play there.
Guys, in Dom's article, he mentions in the strengths portion of the athletic article that Booch, Thomas, and Kyrou outscored opponents 14-7 and put up an expected goals percentage of 47. Narrative or reality, that line sticks together the entire season.
That's a narrative. The hockey is ebbs and flows. And Craig Berube, if everything holds true, not only Craig Berube, but Doug Armstrong talked about pairs of players. We can just rotate anybody on one side, just keep two guys together.
Mm-hmm.
That tells me they won't be together the whole season. But that's an easy one for me because odds are that they're not going to be together the whole season. That's a Dom thing. Like, just go with the odds, right? The numbers tell me. But if we're talking about percentages of lines that spend most time together, I think they're at the top of the list. I think their line stays together for 80 to 85% of the season. That's my numbers. Really researched.
You got good numbers.
Thank you.
Narrative or reality, the Carolina Panthers are a better team without Bryce Young as their quarterback.
That's a narrative.
What? Did you see the Red Rocket?
He looked good yesterday. There's a reason why the Red Rocket is on his 400th team.
That guy looked big yesterday. He's a good player.
He played well. Him and Adam Thielen, they turned back the clock for an afternoon in Seattle. Good for them. Bryce Young is a young player that's going to get better. Andy Dalton's been in the league for a decade now. He should be able to command an offense.
Veteran.
He is a veteran. Still lost the game. He did play well, but the Carolina Panthers are not better without Bryce Young. They got to get him up to speed, and they will.
They got to get him on the field
build
first.
An offensive line. That would help, too.
He has to play.
Yeah, he does. You're right, Jamie. I'll give you that one, kid. They'll be fine.
Can't help the team from the trainer's table.
They'll be fine in a couple of years.
Okay, fair enough.
Narrative or reality, the SEC does not want LSU to play Mizzou in primetime because of the potential result.
Which would be what? LSU losing?
Yeah.
Yeah, to me that's a narrative.
I don't think college football cares about the LSU factor. If anything, they would hope that Colorado would get into the playoffs somehow. If we're looking at like eyeballs on the screen, I don't think LSU turns the dial.
No, not so far this year.
Yeah.
They don't have Coach O anymore. I mean, come on.
They don't have that team anymore.
No, they don't have that team. I don't think it matters what time of day they play.
No.
I guess the bigger question is...
I think that's a bigger deal for Mizzou.
Well, yeah, is Mizzou a primetime team right now? Probably not.
Probably not. You were hoping for it. That would have been nice. You had a primetime game against LSU. Early Saturday morning game, 11 o'clock. You might lose some of the luster. But you know what, too? I heard Jackson say this earlier. So Action Jackson was in the office, and he was really disappointed about that game, Mizzou and LSU next week, being at 11 a.m. He thought, hey, you got to be prime time because he has been at those early morning at Mizzou games, and they fall a little flat. If you're 5-0 and you're hosting LSU and you're ranked, your student section should be packed and loud.
They will. I have all the faith in the world they'll be there.
That Mizzou crowd should not have to get whipped up into a frenzy with LSU in town and you're ranked and you're 5-0. It would be inexcusable if it's not.
I would agree.
Just got to get to bed earlier.
Get to bed earlier.
Or don't go to sleep.
Don't go to sleep at all.
That would be my advice. That would be my advice. If anybody attending Mizzou or are going to be in Columbia on the night prior, don't sleep.
Yeah.
Honestly, don't sleep because
let's go.
Then you will be fired up for that nooner.
Yeah.
11 a.m. game, right?
11 a.m. game.
That's nothing. Come on. We've all done it. Some of us may have went straight to practice.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow. Anthony, why would you do such a thing?
Remember he was telling us about that?
Trying to secure your spot as the second baseman. You get switched over to second base and you're pulling all-nighter?
That's what I was drinking. Like this, Dave, this coaching's, I don't know, I'm a shortstop.
I think you.
I think you're a second baseman. Anthony, go home.
Sleep it off.
Sleep it off.
All right. One more. Narrative or reality, the Cards are a postseason contender with Michael Waka in the rotation.
Wait, the Cardinals are what?
That is a narrative. Michael Waka would have helped. I don't think he's Spencer Strider.
I have nothing against Michael Waka, but you needed more than one guy. Sorry, folks. Park's closed. Moose outside should have told you. I mean, you needed more than one
Park's
guy.
Closed. Moose outside should have told you.
Who gave you a good season? Who gave you a good season in a rotation?
Zach Thompson.
Okay, ish, right?
Yeah, it wasn't a season.
He gave you whatever. He gave you what you asked of him.
He gave you everything you could.
Second half, Steven Matz.
Well, short-lived, but he did have he had a 4 or 5 games.
4 starts, Steven Matz.
But there's my point, guys. You can't pick one guy where you're like, oh, that guy. Like last year was like, hey, Miles Michaelis kind of shoved.
Yeah.
He was their best pitcher. Unfortunately, it hasn't been that way this year. They haven't had a standout pitcher in a positive way. So Michael Waka may have been your standout if he was here, but he'd still be standing alone.
Yeah. I don't think so.
T-shirts now available.
What T-shirts?
You can stand out as long as you don't stand alone.
That's good. Yeah. I like that.
It's Cardinals' new motto next year.
I like it. Let's all rally behind it. Sports Six Pack is next. 314-399-9646. You get a question for us, send it to the Air Comfort Service text line. Again, Sports Six Pack is next. We're fired up because on Friday, we're going to be heading down to Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum to do a live broadcast right there from their showroom. Their dealership just opened a couple of months ago, man. It is awesome. It looks great, and they got the hot dogs back. That's right. So they got the hot dogs back. Jamie will probably have about 9 of those. Auto Center's Nissan, they got their huge anniversary sale, 750 new and used vehicles of almost every make in stock, discounted, and ready for immediate sale. If you've been looking for a new car, truck, SUV, sports car, whatever it is, now is the time to head out to Herculaneum because Auto Center's Nissan, huge anniversary sale. Everything is marked down. Financing options for everyone. Huge additional discounts and prices. In fact, they've got a wheel there that you can spin for additional savings, including an additional $1,000 off of your next new vehicle. Register to win a new Polaris ATV. I saw it last week. I went out to Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum for a switch of the car, and man, that thing looks great. So, again, 750 new and used vehicles on one lot for you out in Herculaneum, Highway 55 in McNutt on the Hill. It's Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum. Tell them Stalter sent you.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question. Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by Maggie O'Brien's, your go-to Irish pub in St. Louis for over 42 years.
Time for the Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Here is Andrew Marsh with your questions.
Question number 1.
What were you about to say?
Jamie just
Anthony can't be professional.
he likes to say stuff right before the mics crack.
Yeah.
You know how he is.
I didn't say anything. I was
Marsh, you know how he is.
getting my paperwork ready here.
Yeah, you were.
Come on, grow up, Anthony.
You grow up, Jamie. What's the question, Marsh?
Yeah, from the 314, we were just talking about hot dogs and Auto Centers Nissan, or you were, Anthony, from the 314. Which Fastlane contributor can down the most hot dogs at Auto Centers Nissan? I bet JR takes Jamie and Joey Chestnut down.
JR, Jeremy Rutherford?
Well, I think I was thinking you.
He said, but I bet JR takes Jamie.
It was Fastlane contributor, so I think that's
Fastlane contributor.
everybody that has contributed to the show.
Wow. So I can tell you this is when we did go there years back, I took down a lot.
Yeah. You had about...
Yeah. I don't care. You can
about
just
6?
Yeah.
I think it was about 6.
Now I was we'll just say the body style on the vehicle was a little different back then. And yeah.
They stopped having them for a while because they
ate like
out.
a month's supply, so they were way behind.
Right.
Sorry about that, guys. But now I don't eat that much anymore. Like the size of what I eat is not what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, the best hot dogs I've ever had, I think I've said this before, at the Montreal Arena up in the Bell Center up in Canada. It used to be the Montreal Forum. They make the best hot dogs ever. And
really?
If you're a healthy scratch there, even if you're not, guys are trying to...
Oh, that's right. You've said this, yeah.
I was a healthy scratcher one night, and I tested myself. How many of these bad boys can I take down?
Mm-hmm.
And what they do is they have the bun with the top cut bun, and then they like fry the bun with a little bit of butter on the outside and on the inside. So it's kind of a crispy little bun.
Yeah.
And then they put the hot dog inside, and then whatever you want.
Uh-huh.
I took down 8 hot dogs one night.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. There's a lot of wieners, Marshy.
You became an unhealthy scratch.
All in one night.
All in one night, too. Yeah. Boys were pretty impressed that I could still
I'm sure they were.
operate the next day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice job, Jamie.
Yeah. Thank you.
Did you always hope to be a healthy scratch when you played there?
No, not really, Andrew. No. Funny story. I was a healthy scratch so many times one year in Toronto that this guy, Greg, was the security guard that worked near the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And it was awesome because every time I'd come in, I'd say, hey, Greg, can you come find me at warm-up? I'm going to need some food. And in Toronto, they had great food. They had sushi. They had all sorts of stuff that he would go get for me and like bring it. I'd pay, the money, but I wasn't going to go up in the stands and get this food. So one time I come walking in, I was playing for the Bruins. Billy Guerin, GM of the Minnesota Wild, who is now was my teammate. We're walking and talking, and Greg goes, hey, Riv, how you doing? He said, hey, you want me to come get you for that food later? I go, no, Greg, I get to play tonight. He's like, oh, no way. I'm
Good
like,
for
yeah.
you. Nice.
Billy Gary was like, what was that about? I'm like, I had a rough patch here for a while.
Don't worry about it. Try the hot dog.
Yeah.
Question number 2.
From the 618, which NFL team is the most cursed team of the season so far?
Oh, my.
It's hard to beat the New York Jets. When you acquire Aaron Rodgers and then watch with everybody tuned in, prime time moment, he's carrying the American flag, and then 4 snaps in, he snaps his Achilles. I mean, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
That's hard to beat.
They still have a victory, though. If I'm looking
That might be the only one. When
If
it's
I'm
all
looking
said
at
and done.
cursed, I am going to the Chicago Bears.
See,
They've got. Hang on, Anthony.
I view them just as bad.
Hang on, Anthony. Let's get the receipts out here.
All right.
Okay. Their quarterback has been less than perfect, not great at all. He blamed the coaching staff for his problems. And then one member of the coaching staff had his house raided by the FBI for sensitive materials that they had come across.
Yeah.
And the team still goes on to look terrible. I don't know if that's not cursed, but boy, it feels like it.
I view them as dysfunctional.
Okay, you're right.
Jets cursed, but
they still have a victory.
They do have a victory.
The Vikings are cursed.
No, they're
what
just
ways?
bad. They're just bad.
What are you talking about?
They're just
Yesterday they had a ball that was in the defender's hand. It bounced right off of his fingers and in for a touchdown. Then they had a touchdown in the end zone at the end of the game. Bounced right off the fingers for an interception. Three games, one-score games, and now they're 0-3. Last year was the complete opposite.
You know, I view them more as self-sabotageurs. Than
I think Kirk Cousins is doing it on purpose. I think he wants out of Minnesota.
I don't think so.
I do.
Doesn't
He seems like,
it.
he definitely seems like that kind of guy. Like, I'm so happy. I just love life. I'm smiling. And you leave the room, and I'm stabbing the voodoo doll with your face on.
Marsh doesn't want to hear that.
Come on, Jamie. I mean, in reality, that
Nobody's
entire
that
city
nice.
is cursed for sports.
Nobody's that nice.
Marsh,
without being a weirdo.
That's a fair point. That's a real fair point. Marsh, how are you feeling about the Waffle House challenge?
Well, I'm not feeling great. I was just about to say when we were talking about the hot dogs, maybe I should try and see how many hot dogs I can take down. Could be a little precursor to what we see for the Waffle House challenge.
If I cut that down to 12 hours,
will you do it right now?
Would you do it? Would you take it now? So you concede the loss, but I'll shave 12. I'll shave it down from 24 to 12.
But you have to eat 2 waffles to shave down an hour.
Well, no,
No, that's fair. We cut it in half. So now if you want, like, because we said
that's
if
still 24 waffles.
Yeah.
That's
so what? But you don't have to do it in 12 hours.
I'll keep it to 12.
Oh, you're soft. You're soft like baby poop, Anthony.
Think about it.
I was wondering what that smell was, too.
Seriously, it's all over his clothes.
All right, fine. Deal's off.
Thanks a lot, Jamie.
And now you're back in. I was trying to get you out, too.
Yeah. I'm not afraid. There's a guy named Eminem that said that one time. I'm not afraid to take a chance.
What song is that?
It's called I'm Not Afraid, literally.
Oh.
I know I'm not doing it justice, although some would say, yeah, see?
Come take my hand.
Yeah,
Come on, Anthony, we'll walk this road together through the storm. Whatever weather, cold or warm.
Marshy, pull it
maybe
up.
I've heard it.
Pull it up for Anthony at some point. We'll play it later during the break or
I'm sure I've heard it.
No,
You've heard it.
you lived in Detroit, Anthony.
Listen.
8 Mile. You lived on 9 Mile.
I did.
I mean, 1 block away from Eminem.
You're
You guys walked the same streets.
You're right. I should know all this.
You
songs.
rap battled. Well, the one thing that nobody knows is that one place in 8 Mile.
Yeah.
Anthony actually got on stage there and won a couple of nights.
It's a deleted scene, though.
They didn't give any credit.
They gave me 0 credit.
It's crazy.
It's a shame. That's probably why I harbor so much ill will toward Eminem, and I haven't listened to all the songs. What's your favorite Eminem song?
I'm Not Afraid.
Fair enough.
I don't know. Which one would be my favorite song? He's got some good ones. What's the one on the... Guess Who's Back? Back again. Which song is that?
Guess Who's Back? Guess
I'm
who's
really
back?
bad with
Who's back?
titles.
Yeah, that's the title. So which one is that? This looks like a job for me.
So everybody just follow me because we need a little controversy because it feels so empty without me.
You guys are good.
All right.
What about you, Marsh? DJ Marshy Marsh?
What's my favorite Eminem song? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've never really thought about it.
Well, come on. You just sang lyrics. Just pick one.
Mine is Till I Collapse.
Till I Collapse. I got that on my workout mix.
I don't think anything touches that one. I don't.
Well, I think
It's the best song.
Lose Yourself is probably the most famous one.
It might be the most famous one, but Till I Collapse, in my opinion, is better.
All right.
All right.
You would know. I mean, you were right there when all the magic was going down.
The only reason I say that is because I gave him that.
Really?
Yeah, no credit.
Question number 3.
He heard me sing it that night. One of the nights I won.
Yeah.
He was there. I looked down, I saw him. So, there's Eminem stealing another song.
I hate that for you.
Thank you.
This is from Marsh's Burner. Speaking of musicians, are you guys ready to hear the Taylor Swift album about Travis Kelce?
Oh, yeah. She's going to have a whole song.
What do you think it'll be called?
Betrayal at Arrowhead.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
About Between the White Lines.
Yep. She's going to have so many gridiron references. Yeah.
I think it'd be something about a tight end.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear what Mahomes said?
Tight ends are not all that great.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Did you guys hear what Mahomes said?
No.
He's talking about how he had to get the ball to Travis.
Well, I needed him to score.
For your fantasy?
For my other thing.
Oh, sorry.
Huh.
Bill Belichick weighed in on it, too. Bill Belichick asked post-game at a Patriots press conference, nonetheless, where Bill usually is 2 or 3 words in. Mm-hmm. And he muddled out that Travis Kelce's had some big catches in his career. This one's by far the biggest.
Belichickable, guys. What's trending is next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, as men, whether you're 20, 30, 40, doesn't matter, low testosterone becomes a thing. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And when you're suffering from low testosterone, you'll notice it's low energy, there's fatigue, there's irritability, maybe some anxiety, maybe some muscle loss. All of these things happen. You're sitting here saying, well, why? Why is this going on? I work out, I do this. It doesn't matter. You're low on testosterone. And I found that out because I went to Mentality. And they sat down with me, did a full examination, a blood panel, and figured out that I was low on testosterone, a couple other vitamins. I'm on a unique program now for me, and I've never felt better.
Well, when you're sick and you're feeling sick for a while, what do? You go to the doctors, right? You say, hey, what's going on with me? It's the same idea with Mentality. If you've been feeling run down, if you feel maybe a little depressed or overwhelmed or stressed out, and you want to feel like you can handle it all and feel younger, same idea. You go down to Mentality. They're fantastic. They got 2 different locations. They got one out in West County in Chesterfield and one out in South County. They do a phenomenal job of going over your current health, where you are, telling you, hey, maybe you're low on testosterone, maybe you're low on certain vitamins, and they give you the program that's going to help.
Yeah, it's great. And it's covered by most insurance companies. So there's really no reason not to get in there. 2, the South County or West County locations, you tell them that Jamie and Anthony sent you in there. They're going to take great care of you. I promise you that. But if you want more information, just go check them out at lowtusa.com. That's Mentality at lowtusa.com.
going on in the world of sports? The Fast Lane has you covered with what's trending now.
Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate to Goodwill and get a Lion's Choice sandwich coupon.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, we were just talking about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Well, according to TMZ, Travis Kelce jersey sales have skyrocketed after Taylor Swift attended yesterday's Chiefs and Bears game.
Well, she's got some followers, doesn't she?
Well,
Holy smokes.
Okay, just think about worldwide here for a minute. She's only one of the most famous people in the world and probably the biggest pop star right now worldwide.
Yeah.
And she was seen in videos all over the world at the Kansas City Chiefs game and walking out with Travis Kelce following the game. You don't think all of her fans right now are buying into this? Even if half of her fans decide to buy into the Chiefs or Travis Kelce jerseys, the Chiefs better back up the 18-wheelers full of Kelce jerseys because they're going to go fast.
Very true.
It's amazing the impact that somebody with that kind of influence can have.
Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
What's that? The relationship?
We've seen other celebrity relationships that have been good and bad.
I think it's fine. I think it's good. Do I see them like together forever? I have no idea about that.
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the Kansas City Chiefs.
No, I think it's fine. You know why I think it's fine? It's because Travis Kelce he's not a star like Taylor Swift is, but he is in the NFL. And so he's got enough swagger to him. A guy like that doesn't date Taylor Swift without having swagger. Because she can't date somebody who's like not secure or whatever. Like, just won't happen. It'd be too different. He wouldn't understand her world and all this stuff.
I'm talking about his play.
Yeah, and this is what I'm getting to if you'd be quiet.
Then get to it faster.
Just be quiet and maybe I will.
Jeez.
You done? Good. What I meant by that is it's not going to affect his play on the field because no matter what, even if she broke up with him tomorrow, he's still Travis freaking Kelce. He'll have another Taylor Swift next week. He doesn't care. He catches footballs for a living. That's what he does. So I don't see this impacting him at all. Good enough for you?
No, you're not understanding what I'm saying.
I'm going to throw this at you. Here, 2 seconds. One.
Is she going to curse him?
No.
Okay.
No, in fact.
Marsh, back me up on this. We've seen this before.
Well, that typically happens
with who?
With the Kardashian family. But OBJ, by the way, has been linked to.
But Reggie Bush.
What happened to him?
Reggie Bush won a Super Bowl when he was dating her.
Yeah, he just said the Kardashians.
Reggie Bush dated.
He didn't win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
Oh, with
New Orleans
Saints. That's right.
And then Romo was dating, Jessica Simpson?
Yeah.
His career was never the same. I'm just saying, it happens.
I don't like you putting the blame on the female here, Anthony.
I'm not blaming
well, you are. I mean,
I'm not blaming the female.
Situation, you're blaming the girl.
Then I just propped up Kim Kardashian for helping the Saints win a Super Bowl. So I guess that works both ways.
Then you said he ruined his career after that.
No, I said his career was never the same. And I didn't say she ruined it. I'm just saying his career was never the same.
I don't like your angle on this, Anthony, at all.
I don't like that you don't care about the Chiefs.
That's not what I said.
Or their pursuit of another Super Bowl.
I just said that she won't have an impact at all. Ticket sales, jersey sales, maybe. On the actual play on the field, not.
All right. I saw a post on X from M. Brown, that was the account, saying that Travis Kelce's a man who knows he's in too deep and sees potential embarrassment around every corner. Millions of women are waiting to hate you, and your own fans are going to call your situationship a distraction. But if he backs out, he's a coward. He can't win. It's kind of fascinating.
I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, I think so too. What else you got there, Marsh?
All right, guys. This is from the Vegas Golden Knights. I found this interesting. From Front Office Sports, the Vegas Golden Knights have launched their own direct-to-consumer streaming platform called Nighttime Plus. The app will offer 69 regular season games at $69.99 for the season, or $6.99 per game. Personally, I think they mailed in the price on that, but could you see this sort of becoming something that we see in professional sports? I know it's something that we see in college sports like Longhorns, Network, and all that stuff. I find this interesting.
So I think it only works. Well, one, if you're paying $6.99 a game to watch it on an app, I think that's kind of pricey.
I would say so, too.
I think that's pricey. I think that's outkicking your coverage on that one. But if you're having a monthly subscription number, but you're offering ancillary content, I think it's the wave of the future. So if you look at the St. Louis Blues, let's just isolate them because that's what we know. They run their own independent content all the time on their website, their Facebook, their Twitter page, their Instagram, all of that. Now, they also have Bally Sports that takes care of their broadcasting of the games. They have 101 ESPN and Hubbard Radio cover another arm of their content. Can you imagine putting all of that content together under one app to where you could access all the stuff you see from the Blues on the website, the behind-the-scenes interview, you add a few things. Maybe you're out on the ice with the players in their off-season skating during practice. Like,
yeah, that's cool.
There's a lot of things that you could do with that the consumer would feel like, hey, now I feel special. Like, not only do I get the games, but I also get to see all of the interviews, every press conference for Chief that goes on, every player interview, because sometimes people have a hard time finding, well, where was the post game and this and that. It'd be automatic, feed to this. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think in that way, presented that way, it works and people would buy on. Currently, unless you're having to download it because you can't get the games any other way, I don't know if that works. Seems pricey.
Yeah, I like that answer. I think it's damn near perfect, Jamie. Well done.
Call me, Tom Stillman.
Okay.
Let's do business.
Wow. We talked about Tua and the Dolphins when we were doing narrative or reality if they were the best team in the NFL. This is actually very just a wild coincidence. I saw this on NFL and CBS. Tua, in weeks 1 through 3, in the past 2 seasons, both seasons, 3-0, 72 completions on 101 attempts, and his touchdown to interception ratio is 8-2. He has the exact same numbers that he did last season, and then he was injured, and the Dolphins season was not the same.
You know, one thing that we've talked about in regards to the Dolphins is they're going to look real good in the first half. They're going to look real good in September. They're going to look real good in October. Tua's a perfect fit for Mike McDaniel's offense. He's a perfect fit. And they've got so many weapons. I mean, how they hung 70 on the board yesterday. Jalen Waddle didn't play a snap. He was inactive.
Yeah, that was weird.
And they lost another receiver at one point during the game. So the question becomes, when you have to be physical a little bit later on, when teams get a little bit more banged up, can Miami hold up? I have them winning the division. I've been, I've one of the few things I've gotten right so far. So I'll stick with that. But I have had that question. How are you going to look in late November and December when the weather starts to turn? You have physical games. Can you run the ball like you did yesterday?
I'll be fine.
Jamie says they'll be fine. All right. Then that's it. Sold. 512, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed
Can't
Rolex
just roll
jeweler.
over like that, Anthony.
We had to get to
I
break.
expect a little pushback. I like when you push back.
You do you?
I do.
All right.
Lets me know you're into it.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
The Fast Lane will be live. That's us. This Friday, 2 to 6 at Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum for their huge anniversary sale. Check out 750 new and used vehicles of almost every make in stock, discounted and ready for sale. Plus, spin to get an additional $1,000 off. You can register to win a new Polaris ATV and much more. We're live this Friday from Auto Center's Nissan anniversary sale in Herculaneum. Hope to see you out there, man. The people are fantastic out there. Get your next new ride from Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum. Studs and duds from the weekend next on 101 ESPN.
If you're in need of something new because something's broken or you're not happy, you always want the best, right? So if you're in the market for replacement windows, get to Window World. They are the best in the business. They're ranked number 1 in number of windows sold in the country by Qualified Remodeler magazine. I can tell you what, the product is fantastic. They have a very durable glass, an extra strength glass that gives it a strength that's not commonly found in replacement windows. How do I know this? Well, because I stood in the back of the warehouse. John Gillette, the owner, said, hey, get on that window and jump up and down. I did. It didn't break. And he said, hey, that's one part of it. Don't forget about the efficiency of the window, which he's right. That means when it's hot outside, it doesn't feel hot on the inside of your home. When it's cold outside, it's not cold in your home. Saves you money every month with your heating and your cooling bills. They also, though, offer a lifetime warranty that covers all the parts, the glass breakage, and the labor. They're still offering 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. So please, don't wait another minute. Call them over there at 314-993-1800. That's 314-993-1800, or look them up at windowworld.com.
Before we get to studs and duds, we got a very important text message. Jamie, would you like to address this? Because I think this person not only spot on, but she has a heart of gold, and I think she should be heard.
Well, you're right. She does have a heart of gold. It's my mom.
Yeah.
Mama Rivers. Oh, Mumsy is what I call her. And she texted me following that segment.
Mm-hmm.
Unprompted.
Yep.
I'm slightly disgusted, but nonetheless.
No need to be.
Just, Jamie, you are mean to Anthony sometimes.
Thank you, Mama Rivers.
I don't know how you did it. I don't know how you got into communication with my mother, Anthony, but I'm warning you. Stay away. Stay away.
You know, Jamie,
I don't like the fact that you have tainted my mother's views on her son treatment of you. I don't like it.
You know,
I don't think you'd appreciate it either.
If Mama Rivers were here right now, I think we could both agree on something in that you, Jamie, are better than this.
Oh, that's the route you're taking, huh?
You're professional, first of all. You're a professional. You're a good person. And I think that somewhere along the line, you got a little out of center here. And I don't know what it was.
Are you questioning the way I was raised?
I'm not blaming. No, what I'm saying is Mama Rivers did a phenomenal job raising you. And I think her and I could both agree that the person that we're seeing right now is not the real Jamie. So that's all. And Mama Rivers,
I feel like she would
you.
disagree with that. She has a pretty good idea who I am.
Either way.
I don't like you pandering for my mom's support.
She listens every day. She is an avid listener. She watches on the YouTube, and she loves our show. And I just appreciate her making a very valid statement.
Mom, I love you, and you have never steered me wrong. You just don't know what I deal with on a daily basis.
Marsh, do we have studs and duds?
Yeah, let's start off with Mizzou quarterback Brady Cook. Stud or dud over the weekend?
Stud, man. Stud. Again, I love the direction of this offense. It has turned in a blink of an eye. Maybe we were wrong in that we just didn't realize that Mizzou was kind of slow playing it out of the gates. Either way, it doesn't matter. They've opened things up. They're throwing the ball vertically, and Luther Burden is a legit threat. And it's fun to watch this. It has been fun to watch this Mizzou offense the last 2 weeks. Take care of business against Vanderbilt, and then we'll see how that offensive line holds up against LSU. But as of right now, you got to love what you're seeing out of Brady Cook.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you got to go with studs right now until he proves otherwise. That's my assessment.
Stud or dud, the Vancouver Canucks.
Oh, they're duds right now. Poor Rick Tocchet. No, it's okay. It's the preseason. We haven't really gotten into anything serious yet. But let's go over this for a second, because over the weekend, I was looking at different social media posts and some behind-the-scenes videos. And they had a behind-the-scenes video of Rick Tocchet with his coaching staff and consultants.
Mm-hmm.
Rick Tockett's the head coach, which by all accounts, I mean, not a hockey Hall of Fame career, but man, pretty close. He was an absolute animal to play against. I hated playing against Rick Tocchet because he's right in my weight class, tough as nails, way tougher than me. But he would fall in my weight class because he was like my size, but he would score 40, 50 goals, have 300 penalty minutes, and he would hit you like a freaking freight train.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so credibility out the ears for this guy. He's your head coach. Sergei Gonchar is an assistant coach who's a hockey Hall of Famer, unbelievable hockey player. The Sedin twins are consultants for the power play and working with the young guys. Like, they have an all-star cast of Adam Foote, who won multiple cups in the NHL, played with the Colorado Avalanche. He's a D coach. Like, unbelievable coaching staff. Yet they get murdered on their first game of the preseason, which it's just a preseason, but what was it, 6-0 or something? Or 10-0. 10-0.
Which is the equivalent of like losing 70 to 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what actually, funny enough, Rick Tocchet said that following the game.
Oh, did he?
Following the game, they asked him how he felt. He goes, I kind of feel like Sean Payton right now.
Oh, wow.
He did.
I mean, good for him.
Props to Rick Tocchet.
Good for him for having a sense of humor about it.
He's a great dude.
I was going to say stud or dud, the state of Colorado, but I think I know where that one's heading.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a dud performance by Colorado. Even if we saw it coming, you were ranked, you were hyped, and this is why a lot of the national media said coming in that Colorado would be fortunate to even contend for a bowl. There's a lot of players that have, I mean, Dion and his coaching staff have gotten so much out of that roster. A lot of those guys would not be playing right now, would not be starting for a lot of programs. You know, they'd be redshirting, or maybe they'd be backups. But Dion has reestablished the culture overnight and has done a remarkable job. And there's still going to be a storyline. But the unfortunate reality is their offensive line, their defensive line got manhandled. And that was the biggest concern going in. You knew they had skill position players. You knew they had guys that can run. Even if Travis Hunter plays, I still think that the outcome is pretty similar. I mean, couldn't get off the field defensively. So,
Anthony, how many wins did they have last year?
1.
Yeah. The fact that they're getting 9.5 million viewers for a game,
yeah, it's remarkable.
It's unbelievable. And Dion's right. He says, get us now because this is the worst we're going to be.
Yeah.
This program's going to grow at a torrid pace. Kids are going to want to play in the NFL. Dion seems like the kind of guy that's going to pick up the phone and call everybody in the NFL if he believes in you. So, I think it's cool.
Imagine being a Colorado Buffaloes fan. You lose against Oregon 42-6. You wake up, and you're like, you know what? At least we have the Denver Broncos. And then they lose by 50. They got outscored, both teams, 112-26 in those two football games.
Somebody, who is it this morning, Brian?
It's a rough day.
It might have been Piddles.
Rough weekend.
On the balloon party that said, can you imagine having attended the University of Colorado? You stayed in Colorado. Now you're a Broncos fan. Your teams just get absolutely waxed.
Murdered.
Jeez. All right, guys. Stud
Let's hang
or
and
dud?
watch. Yeah.
Josh McDaniels, stud or dud?
Oh, that's a dud. As a head
That's a
coach,
dud.
that's an absolute dud.
Yeah.
As an offensive coordinator, he's a stud. It's proven what he can do with very little. Although he always had Tom Brady.
Yeah, right.
I mean, but still, it seemed to be something he was very good at.
And his offense with Derek Carr, before last season was pretty good. There's something off with the Raiders right now. Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't look comfortable yet. We just all assume he'll be comfortable in this offense. Josh McDaniels' offense has changed subtly, and Jimmy Garoppolo hasn't played in this offense since his New England days. So he's turning the ball over a lot. Again, that's usually a mark of a quarterback that's just not comfortable in the system yet. Josh Jacobs, there's no running game right now. Josh Jacobs was a stud last year. You watched the game last night. He was constantly bottled up. So rough. But the big thing is, last night, to me, his first mistake was not kicking the ball with 13 minutes left. You could kind of understand why he kicked the ball on that 4th and 4. He was trying to eliminate the need to go for 2. But you should have done that earlier in the quarter. They were down there. It was a longer 4th and 8. They were further away from the end zone. If you kick a field goal there, you still need 2 touchdowns, but now the extra points suffice. You needed 2 touchdowns regardless. And you had almost a full quarter at that point as opposed to just, a couple of minutes. And to assume that your defense, or not assume, but to bank on your defense coming up with a stop at that point when your defense hadn't really been stopping anybody to this juncture, it was a mistake. So it was a dud performance by Josh McDaniels.
Stud or dud, Ryan Day?
Dud post game, stud performance. That's a tough game, and you got an inexperienced quarterback. For that last drive that they put together, I'd read off some of the things that they did, converting the 4th down, converting the 3rd and 19. That's a tough environment to win, and you got it done on Saturday night with a guy that you're trying to grow with. So I'll give him a stud. Did it against 10 guys in the final 2 plays. Yeah, so Notre Dame helped you a little bit there.
I think that as a coach, I wouldn't say stud, but he's doing pretty well. He's a dud for his post-game remarks.
Yeah.
Get over it, dude.
Lou Holtz.
Yeah, everybody's focusing on so many things. The world has gotten so sensitive. Like, everybody's got to respond.
Right.
Like, bro, you looked like an idiot responding.
Yeah. At this point, the better thing, the more badass thing to do is just not respond. Just be like,
or just respond in a very coy way.
Yeah. Or just say, hey, Lou. Yeah. I can see why Lou thought that.
Yeah.
Showed the world differently tonight.
And it's good he brought that to our attention. We're going to try and change that.
Yeah, right.
Hopefully we did it today.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And Lou said, too, apparently the text line said Lou said to pack a lunch.
Sounded like a lynch, though.
Oh, that's not good. Oh, because
of his speech impediment.
Sure.
Better pack a lunch.
Yeah. It's Fastlane Fastlane on 101 ESPN.
His list.
Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. Biggest question of the day, next.
Are you looking to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle? Then please look no further than Londoff Chevrolet. They've got fantastic inventory. And I can tell you what, the experience of purchasing a car at Londoff Chevrolet is absolutely fantastic. It's stress-free. That's the best part. And you can do it many ways. You can go right out to the car lot. There's two of them now, Florissant, Missouri, the original, and St. Peters, Missouri, right off of Highway 70, the Londoff Autoplex. Or you can get online and get pre-qualified and find out what vehicles are in your budget. And then you can schedule a test drive. You can talk to a representative online. And then when you get to the car lot, everything's ready for you. They're going to let you take a test drive. They're going to make sure that you're happy, answer any questions that you have. And then once you're satisfied with the price and the customer service, they get the paperwork ready for you. It's super easy, super quick, and very convenient. And they take care of you. They ask you to schedule your first oil change before you leave the lot. Why? Because they want that vehicle to operate the best it possibly can for you, because they want you to be part of the Londoff family. So please, again, get into either lot. Tell them that Jamie Rivers sent you in. If you can't get there in person, get there online at londoff.com or londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cards lose to the San Diego Padres yesterday by a final score of 12-2. They are off today, but they will take on Milwaukee tomorrow. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the 101 mobile app. You can find our full show there. We talked about the Blues, who had a series of split squad games this weekend. They lost 3-2, or they won 3-2 and lost 5-1. City SC, they defeated Minnesota 2-1, and they take on Sporting KC on Saturday. So once again, if you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the 101 mobile app. Tonight we have Monday Night Football. It's the Eagles and the Bucks. Pregame starts at 6. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center Update is brought to you by
Saliga
Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
That's right. Time for the biggest question of the day here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Marsh, what do you got?
All right, from the 314, is it just me, or does there seem to be an electricity in the air surrounding the Blues season this upcoming year? More excitement than normal? ?
I don't know if it's more excitement than normal, but I think what it is a refreshed excitement, if that makes sense, because last year did not go well. And Blues fans, I'm sure frustrated with the result. And I will compliment Blues fans 100% on being patient, as crazy as that sounds to say, and trusting the process. And I compliment Doug Armstrong as well for going out there, identifying, what was needed, adding that, doing everything he could to improve the roster in the offseason in a salary cap world where it's not always easy to do things. I also compliment the Blues overall for their communication as to what their plans would be moving forward. And I think what that did is it gave the fan base hope that, one, the organization is aware of what's going wrong, and two, that they're wanting to fix it. Mm-hmm. And so I think that all of those things combined with bringing in Kevin Hayes, bringing back Oscar Sundquist, some of the young players playing very well, Jake Neighbors take steps forward, all of that is very exciting. A brand new captain in Braden Shen, who I think everybody knew it was going to be him or thought it could have been him even before Ryan O'Reilly got to see. That's exciting. Jordan Binnington and Joel Hofer in the same crease, that's exciting. So I think there are a lot of things to be excited about when it comes to the Blues season right now, and rightfully so. I think that everybody involved has done a good job in fixing what they think the problem was, and at the same time, giving the fans something to be excited about.
Yeah, I think there is a renewed energy, and part of it might also be, in a weird way, you benefited from the Cardinals not being good. I think that.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Blues fans are always going to be excited. Blues fans are going to be excited for a new season. Diehard Blues fans, they're there. But when you look at the Cardinals, typically the Cardinals are in it. They don't always go to the playoffs, but they're at least always in it when it comes to the end of September here. Now we're here at September 25th, and the Cardinals have been out for a while. Yeah. So maybe those I don't even want to call them fringe Blues fans. They're Blues fans, but they're Blues fans that might not be full bore into the season until after the Cardinals are done, or they got kind of one eye on the Cardinals, one eye on the Blues. It is all Blues right now. And I think that's great. That it's bad because the Cardinals aren't good. Yeah. But I think part of that energy also stems from that. Blues had an interesting trade deadline. They had an interesting offseason. There's a lot of storylines, as we've talked about.
Do you think Blues fans are more excited about the Blues based on the fact that they feel like the organization is doing what's required?
I think there's a little of that, too. I think that's a good point, especially when you juxtapose that to the Cardinals.
It's where I was headed.
Yeah.
And this is not a dog on the Cardinals, pump up the Blues. It's not that at all. But several people come up to me weekly and they want to talk Blues, they want to talk Cardinals, and just chit-chat sports, which is always fun to do. But when they get into Blues versus Cardinals, not the teams against each other, because we know that they support each other tremendously.
Yeah.
But when they look at maybe stylistic differences between the front offices, the first thing they talk about is, well, at least I knew where Army was headed. Army knew that was a bad season. Halfway through, Army told us it was bad. Halfway through, John Mozeliak told us to be patient.
Right.
We're going to make the playoffs. We're a talented team.
Sure.
And so I think there's a frustration that lies there from the Cardinals standpoint, but I think that there's an excitement from the Blues fan standpoint of, like, my guy knows what was wrong. My guy addressed it. My guy wasn't afraid to ask a guy to waive his no-trade clause.
Very true.
Rumored. Still don't know that to be true or not. Allegedly. But, I just feel like that creates an excitement, too. When you feel like the people that have the final say are doing the work and they aren't sleeping at night, they're burning the midnight oil, they're doing everything they can to make this team better and trying to revamp things and restructure the coaching staff and change some of the philosophy and work with the leadership group. There's a lot of stuff that the Blues overall have gotten into from the last period of play that they had till the first day of training camp.
Yeah, good call. Yeah.
So now am I more aware of that just because I'm more into the Blues or I'm more on the inner circle? Maybe. But they also make it known.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Either way, I'm excited.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Don't forget, we have the Bucks and Eagles pregame starting right at 6 o'clock. Kickoff is at 6:15, so it'll be a very quick pregame, and then you'll get ready for Bucks and Eagles here on 101 ESPN.
By the way, we have a secondary biggest question of the day. Not a sports question, but an interesting one to say the least. From the 314, St. Louis style, New York style, or Chicago style pizza?
New York style. New York style pizza is my favorite.
Chicago styles is too much. To me, it's overkill. It's over the top. You have one piece and you're so freaking full.
It's good.
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. St. Louis style, I like, but if I had to choose, it'd probably be New York style. I don't mind taking that slice out, then you got to fold it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like eating pizza. I don't care what style it is.
That's a cop-out. No, you got to pick one. Come on.
Come on, Marsh.
Come on.
Come on, man.
I can't ride the fence. Otherwise,
we all like pizza, Marsh.
I like pizza, too. There we go. Scratch my answer from the record.
I got to go with St. Louis. That's what I was born with. So I was born with that St. Louis style pizza. I don't mind the flop, though. I don't mind squeezing it. If I had to rank them, I'd go St. Louis, New York, Chicago. Because if I wanted some lasagna, I'd eat some lasagna. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, okay. Chicago
bread. It's
style
like a loaf
really
of,
good, though.
No, but it's like a loaf of bread in one piece.
It's deep dish. The sauce is awesome.
It is very deep, okay? But I'll tell you this. It's filling. Fills you right up.
You're right. So, they give you a lot. You have a slice or two?
No, you can't have two. There's no way.
Yeah.
No way. You're on the boiler after that for an hour if you do that.
Quick story.
I'll give you that.
I went to a Blues Blackhawks game. Went to a Blues Blackhawks game a few years ago.
Yeah.
And, went out, had a good time. And when I was back in my hotel, I wanted some pizza.
Yes,
and so
you did.
I ordered some Chicago style pizza. And it was one of the biggest regrets of my life because I had one slice and this pizza was massive.
Yeah.
Massive pizza. The next day I had to get on the train and head back to my car and then drive home. But I got the pizza, ate one slice, and I had no idea what to do with it. It was just a waste of money because I couldn't eat the whole thing, Anthony.
You're right.
Sorry.
You couldn't take it all.
I couldn't take it all.
Yeah.
That's
I
too
mean,
bad.
it's common with that Chicago pizza. I'm not a fan.
And the Blues lost that night, too.
That's a rough night.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. What you missed? Criticisms, compliments next.
Fellas, are you currently using ED meds? Well, that's fine. Again, as long as you're ready come game time, that's all anybody cares about. But what I care about is if you're paying too much for those ED meds. If you are, you have to head over to the Medicine Shop in St. Charles. They are the destination for cheap ED meds. They've got a generic called sildenafil for less than $2 a pill. That's right, you heard me. Less than $2 a pill. Prescription is required. And you don't have to live close to the Medicine Shop either to cash in on all the savings. And also, they've got free, discreet shipping and delivery to your home or workplace of any medicines that you require on a regular basis. Hockey season's here. We know that I'm going to be super busy. This is a service I use all the time. And I get to go home, and my medicine's waiting there for me. It's fantastic. But if I have to get to the pharmacy, if there's something I just don't have answers to, I go to the Medicine Shop in St. Charles. I walk in to see my pharmacy family, and they always take care of me. They answer all my questions, and they make sure that I'm taken care of. And that's what their customer service is all about. So please get over there in person if you can. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. But if you can't get in person, it's easy. Visit them online at stcharles.pharmacy. That's stcharles.pharmacy.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com, your 101 ESPN mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Had a great show today. Talked a lot of football, talked a lot over the weekend, talked a little Blues as well. Thought we had a really good question about the Blues and whether or not there's some more excitement right now for the Blues heading into this season, as maybe there has been in years past, and some theories behind that. We played Prophecies, and, well, sounded good at the time. Talk about some of our biggest hits and misses from last week. Did a little Cardinals as well. Is it pitching fundamentals or overall talent that was part of the problem for the Cardinals this season? Blues Q's. Mizzou. Talked about Mizzou, whether or not they're a legit contender in the NFC, or in the SEC, excuse me. And played narrative or reality as well. Marsh, you got any criticisms or compliments?
Yes, from the 636, my compliment is for the entire 101 ESPN station for being the most entertaining radio shows all day, every day.
Wow, thank you. That's a big compliment.
That's a massive compliment.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you listening.
No doubt.
So I got to see a bunch of our listeners on Friday at the Blues and Brews event. They came by to say hi and talk to us, and appreciate you guys coming by and talking, and appreciate everybody listening all the time.
No
Thank
doubt.
you.
I wanted to expand on that. I want to give a shout out to Tony, who was our Gauntlet contestant on Friday, who also showed up at Blues and Brews. Got to meet him.
Nice.
Great guy. And then give a shout out to the other Tony, who I met on Saturday night. Does a great job at doing the karaoke. Good karaoke DJ.
Nice. Okay.
So a
Very
couple
cool.
Tonys shouting them out.
Good.
From the 636, we were doing Prophecies, which used to be called Prophecies and Lies. We switched the name to Prophecies and Well. Sounded good at the time. Guys, I love this segment. Should keep doing this every Monday.
Good, thank you. We've been doing this for a while. This might have been the one, Jamie, that tripped you up before.
No, it was something way more complicated. I guarantee it. It couldn't have been this one. Could it? No.
Maybe it was nugget of truth or overreaction.
No, it was something else. It was something way more complicated.
That's so funny.
By the way, guys, update on the Travis Kelce jersey sales.
Yeah. What do we got?
They had a 400% spike in jersey sales on Sunday.
Holy smokes.
For Travis Kelce jerseys.
Okay.
Wow.
Good for you.
I mean, he doesn't get the money, but...
No. But...
Is that actually a thing? You don't get money on your jersey sales?
No.
What?
You don't. I can tell you don't.
No?
Nope.
Okay. I think in Major League Baseball, you get a percentage of all retail.
Maybe. That's the baseball.
I think it goes into like a pot, so that if that's any jersey sale, any hat, anything with an MLB, logo on it, it goes into a pot for all the players.
In the NHL, it'll go into the revenue sharing program.
Okay.
But I don't know about the NFL.
Yeah, that I don't know.
How on earth do you not make money off of your own jersey?
Yeah, I don't know.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Hey, the NCAA did it for
How are you going to track it?
What do you mean? They just? How do they know that they just went up 400%?
But how are you going to track, like, as the player?
Well, isn't that the team's job to have contracts with places like, what's one of them called?
Dick's
Fanatics?
Sporting Goods.
Guys, update here, by the way. The Baseball America 2023 Minor League Player of the Year,
Yeah.
Jackson Holiday.
Nice.
Nice.
Good for him.
Yeah.
He had a phenomenal year. That's outstanding. Excellent. Well deserved.
Very well deserved.
From the 314, sourcing John Fozelak in the Gauntlet is incredible.
Yeah, you had a real GOAT moment there, Marsh.
Thank you.
Real GOAT moment. Well done.
I appreciate that. From the 618, so the Cards front office has no responsibility, according to Jamie. Wow, Jamie DeWitt over there.
Yeah, no, I read that. It said Jamie, something about DeWitt and Mozeliak. I've done nothing but be critical all season long of everybody. Friggin' from the DeWitts to Fredbird. Everybody has felt the level of the wrath.
I mean, you almost threw your first pitch at Fredbird. We talked about
it. I really did. Jamie. So it's just silliness talking about that.
It's a narrative.
It's it's just silliness. That's all.
We get a question, actually, from the 636. We were just talking about deep dish pizza, the Chicago style, New York style, St. Louis style. What would Jamie eat the night before a game?
Depending where I was at.
Carb load?
No, not really the night before. Day of the game, yeah. Pre-game meal be a carb load. Night before, always loved getting a nice steak.
Really?
Nice steak, maybe some seafood. You know, I'd always treat myself to a really nice meal the night before the game. Go out, get a nice meal, go home, relax, get to bed, get ready to go.
It's a good routine.
Yeah.
What was your steak of choice?
It wasn't like a big, like the old 96er. It wasn't one of those ones. Usually like a small fillet, some vegetables, some kind of a potato, so a little bit of carbs.
Yeah.
Be kind of it.
I remember in high school, our pregame meal, because I don't know, one of the coaches at one point said, you need to load up on carbs. Missed the memo that it should be like the night before. He did a big pasta meal before every football game.
Before the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what time?
Usually around like 5:30 for like a 7:30 kickoff.
So we carb load at like noon is the pregame meal.
Okay.
And so you just blow it up there, get a nice little nap in, then you get up, you have a little snack, something you don't eat again.
Yeah.
You let those carbs go to work for you.
Sure. No, yeah. we were full when we took the field. We weren't good.
John Fozelak has actually texted in. Maybe he missed what was going on earlier in the show. He texted in, what did I miss? Was working late to get to 83 wins next year.
Well, what you missed, John Foselak, is that our guy Andrew Marsh remembered the Adam Eaton mic drop that you had left in relation to the Lucas Giolito trade to answer a correct question in the Gauntlet about Lucas Giolito. So you helped him. I don't think you needed. At that point, you'd already won. You already won 4-3 if you'd missed that question, but you didn't. You nailed it.
All thanks to John Fozelak.
All thanks to John Fozelak. That's right. Don't forget, we got Bucks Eagles pregame starting about 4 minutes or so, and then we got the kickoff. We got the game for you. Double Monday Night Football feature for you. For Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. See you.